Lauderdale, and WQAM AM Miami. An Odyssey sports station.
Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
The game is ended, and now we begin. It's Game Day Uncensored, Postgame edition. Real talk, real reaction, real opinions for real Miami football fans on FM 104.3 WQAM, Miami sports leader.
2 minutes left in Charlotte, North Carolina, and our Miami Dolphins have just gone down 27-24. 2 minutes, 1:59 to be exact. Now, if you're a Dolphins fan, why you should not be concerned, you got a $50 million man, one of the highest paid players, one of the highest paid quarterbacks, getting the ball with time to work. 2-minute drill. He and Jalen Waddle have been locked in all day long. As a Dolphins fan, you have to say, okay, this is where you make your money. Now, if you're a Dolphins fan, you're also saying Tua is 7 for 7. I'm sorry, his record is 7-7 when it comes to crunch time. 7 times he's led the team to a win. 7 times he's led the team to a loss, or he's made a very crucial mistake. So you got a 50-50 shot right here. I'm going to bet on the good Tua today. Trevor Harris is with me, by the way. I am Dan Day. I'm betting on the good Tua today. This is where you make your money. This is where you change the narrative. The Dolphins, all preseason long, said, we're changing this team. We're changing this narrative. We're going to be mentally and physically tough. Stop talking the talk. Now you walk the walk. Tua Tagovailoa, no excuses. You said, the market's the market. We paid you the money. Now, this is the reason why we paid you the money. I want to say this about Tua, by the way. Today, I think he's been locked in. I think he's one of the main reasons why Mike McDaniel abandoned the running game. By the way, Trevor and I just looked at the stats. The Panthers' running game has over 250 yards. The Dolphins doesn't even have 50 yards of rushing. But I think it's one of the reasons why they abandoned the running games, because Tua did seem very locked in. Right now, Tua Tagovailoa, you don't slide with anything. You make this 2-minute drive, you win this game, you help change the narrative, and I say, you know what? That's why we pay you the big bucks. Same thing goes for Jalen Waddle, who also has had a great day. Make the drive, make the winning catch. Just caught a great play action pass for a touchdown that gave us the 24-20 lead. But you know what, Jalen Waddle? We pay you a lot of money. We want a return on our investment. So right now, if you're a Dolphins fan, you should be confident because you have a quarterback and a wide receiver that are locked in. You have Mike McDaniel that is supposed to be an offensive guru, and he has actually drawn up some really good plays. Tua is locked in today. Jalen Waddle is locked in today. I think Mike McDaniel is calling a good game, but the offensive line at times has been absolute basura. So 2-minute drill for Tua Tagovailoa. Make us believe Tua. As we get ready, we're not going to do the play-by-play, but we are just going to hang on here and hope to see the Dolphins make what we would call a drive that maybe changes the season. This is a season-changing moment. You make a 2-minute drive. Not only does it make you 2-3 instead of 1-4, it also gives you that belief that we can do this. Monkey off your back. Psychological block gone. But if you fizzle out and you do not win this game or even tie this game, you are now 1-4. You're looking at a quarterback that has problems putting teams away, and you don't have arguably your best player in Tyreek Hill for the rest of the season. This is a season-defining drive as Tua overthrows Jalen Waddle in the middle of the field as he was open. Tua Tagovailoa, 27 for 35, 256 yards today. You get a big day from Jalen Waddle. He was way overthrown. That is not how you make your pay. Trevor Harris is shaking his head. You can't miss Jalen Waddle like that in the 2-minute drill. I'm sorry. Once again, and Tua, it's easier to talk about playing quarterback than play quarterback. I understand that, but also I don't make $51 million a year. Once again, I'm getting too hard on Tua because he can make a great play on 3rd and 10, and we'll be okay. The defense has Tua Tagovailoa gets sacked. It'll now be 4th down with 1:40 left. The defense cannot stop a nosebleed. Carolina Panthers have run all over the Miami Dolphins. Carolina, great adjustment, by the way. They realized, oh my goodness, our number 1 overall pick and quarterback, Bryce Young, he's going to lose us the game. So what did their coach do? Take the ball out of his hand. We have development, Trevor?
They're punting, the Dolphins are.
I can understand that. You've got all 3 timeouts. You've got 1:11 left, and you're punt. Okay. Mike McDaniel, if you do not win this game, you are in a lot of trouble now. Everybody now is in a whole lot of trouble with 1:03, 3 timeouts, and you haven't been able to stop the run, and your defense has allowed 27 points to the Carolina Panthers. At one point, you were up 17-0 in this game. So we're going to sweat this one out. Defense needs to make big stops, big timeouts. Tua's going to get the ball back with very, very little time left on this clock, it looks like. And there's no way the Panthers are going to put the ball in Bryce Young's hand, who, like I said earlier in the game, their coach realized he's going to lose us the game. So what did they do? Steadily ran the ball and threw little safe out passes the whole entire game. But now, this is where everyone has to make their pay. Zach Sealer, I need you to step up. You got paid. Bradley Chubb, we traded for you. Let's go. Chop Robinson, you're a first-round pick. Kenneth Grant, first-round pick. I need you guys to come through, stop the run, get the timeouts, and let's get the ball back so Tua and the team can make their magic happen. That was a thud out of a 3-and-out right there on a 2-minute drill from Tua Tagovailoa. Once again, not going to be critical just yet because there's 59 seconds left in this game. But if you were watching this game, you had to be feeling good. I was feeling great. Darren Waller, the guy's a baller. Comeback player of the year, it looks like he's going to be. Your defense is getting turnovers. You're up 17-0. You're saying to yourself, man, this is going to be easy like Sunday morning. Then lo and behold, things just changed on a dime. Carolina, like I said, took the ball out of their number 1 overall pick, Bryce Young, who I don't think is very good. He actually really bad. He tried to call a timeout when they had no timeouts left towards the end of the first half.
That's not a penalty. It's ridiculous.
I can't believe that. Chris Webber, that kid. Nonetheless, they started running the ball down our throats. We couldn't stop them. The offense started sputtering. All of a sudden, you're so frustrated with the Dolphins. Now, this is the NFL, and everyone can make a run. I understand that. But you have just been outplayed since about middle of the second quarter. Their defense has been swarming. Outside of the big play-action pass to Jalen Waddle, that was about 50 yards to take the lead back at 24-20. Your offense has not been special. Tua, you get the ball at 159. What do great quarterbacks do when they're down by 4 or down by 3 with 159 left? They don't even go for field goals. They get touchdowns. They actually waste time because they're getting too close to score and they don't want to give the ball back to the other team. 2-3-and-out. We have to punt. Now we're trying to get a timeout and a stop of 3-and-out from them, a punt, get the ball back. There's 54 seconds left. So theoretically, you can stop them on 3rd down. There should be about 45 seconds left after the punt, 40 seconds. So Tua, you really have to work your magic.
You got a 2-minute drill there.
Now remember, Tua Tagovailoa, not to bring back bad memories, that first Monday night game against the Tennessee Titans where we're up by 14, Tennessee came back, took the lead. He couldn't get a first down to end the game when we were up by 14. Couldn't get a single first down. Tua, we're paying you to be the man. You have to be the man right now. I like Tua, and first thing I told Trevor when he walked in, I go, Tua's locked in today. Well, he wasn't locked in just now on that 2-minute drill. Tua, prove to me that you deserve to be considered an elite quarterback in this league. Prove to me that you're worth the $51 million that we paid. Prove to me that you were right for sitting out of practice because you hadn't gotten paid. Prove to me why we tanked so hard for you. Okay, it's going to be 4th down. Oh, no, there's a penalty. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Pass interference.
This is going to be Jack Jones, who's having a miserable day, by the way. And there's no other way to put Jack Jones's day as utterly miserable. He may have just now cost us the game. With a pass interference, with 1 timeout left, 50 seconds, Tua might not get a chance to prove himself, although he has kind of proven himself because he didn't make it happen inside the 2 minutes. We're waiting to take your calls. We're not going to take your calls just yet because we're waiting till the end of the game, but it is looking like the Miami Dolphins could drop to 1-4 and lose to a not very good Carolina Panthers team, whose backup running back, Rico Dowdle, rushed for 199 yards today.
Repeat that so everyone can hear it from the on the FM side, anyways.
Rico Dowdle, backup running back, because Chuba Hubbard is hurt. Not Chuba Hubbard, Rico Dowdle rushed for 199 yards today.
Who the Cowboys just cut after their training
By the
camp.
way, the Panthers have gone into victory formation. The Dolphins, I'm guessing, will use their final timeout. The Dolphins have used their final timeout. I don't know why. No, wait, they didn't. The Dolphins didn't even use their final timeout. They gave up. They let go. And the Dolphins fall after leading 17-0 to the Carolina Panthers, 27-24. The Dolphins are now 1-4. Tua with a chance to win the game. 2-minute drill, 1:59 on the clock, goes 3 and out. We punt. Mike McDaniel, not the riverboat gambler he used to be. We punt. Jack Jones. He had pass interference on a third down that was incomplete. Carolina Panthers win the game. We're going to take a deep breath. I'm going to collect myself. We're going to take a commercial, and we're going to come back and hear from you. This is Game Day Uncensored. That means I don't want you cussing up a storm, but if you're frustrated like me, you can let it all out, because I'm going to let it all out. So, Trevor, let's take a quick break. We're going to restart the show. We're going to get it going. This is Game Day Uncensored on 104.3 FM WQAM.
WQAM.
FM 104.3. Or listen to WQAM on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps. Don't miss a thing.
Now, let's get back to the Game Day Uncensored postgame show on FM 104.3 WQAM, Miami's sports leader.
The Dolphins lose despite being up 17-0 to the Carolina Panthers. Final score 27-24. I'll be honest with you, everyone is on the hook for this loss. First person, main person on the hook for this loss, Tua Tagovailoa. Now, he had a great game, but he's been paid $51 million. He's been trying to change narratives. We've said he doesn't have that killer in him. He gets the ball with 2 minutes left, down by 3, and lo and behold, a 3-and-out. Overthrowing Jalen Waddle, who at one point was wide open. Tua Tagovailoa, you wanted the money, you got the money. You know what comes with that? Expectations.
And responsibility.
And responsibilities. And hopefully production. Tua Tagovailoa, I will not let you slide on this one. You want to be I'm not even going to say an elite quarterback. You want to be a good quarterback. A good quarterback doesn't go 3-and-out on a 2-minute drill to win the game. A good quarterback, what do you think a great quarterback in this league would do? Not only would they drive down the field, they'd have to run some clock because they don't want to give the ball back to the other team. Tua Tagovailoa, 3-and-out. No excuse for that. Mike McDaniel, you don't slide either. Even though you go 3-and-out, you got to believe in your play calling and you got to believe in your guys. You don't punt with about a minute left, like a minute 40 left, and give it back to your defense, which is ranked one of the worst defenses in the league that hasn't stopped a nosebleed and a backup running back all day long. And you're trusting that defense? Who else is on the hook? Anthony Weaver. That defense was atrocious. Rico Dowdle. Who? Rico Dowdle ran all over you for 199 yards. Everyone's on the hook for this one. You're now 1-4. You lost to a bad Carolina Panthers team with a bad quarterback in Bryce Young. I'm telling you. Zach Sealer, by the way, also got a late penalty. He's supposed to be our best defensive player and a guy we paid a lot of money to. Defense couldn't stop anybody. The offense disappeared after about a quarter and a half. Tua Tagovailoa. 3-and-out. 2-minute drill to win the game. Chance to change the narrative. A chance to say it to everyone. I said, show me the money. That's why. Instead, thud. And you overthrew Jalen Waddle, who was wide open on that 3-and-out. No excuses for this. Everyone's on the hook. If you're as frustrated as I am, or if you have some positive spin you want to put on this, I want to hear from you. 305-567-0560. We're going to take callers. I might stay here till midnight. If you want to talk, I want to hear from you. Let's go to the phone lines right now. 305-567-0560. Doug in Hollywood. Doug, go ahead.
Man, that down matters. For one thing, that sorry ass Chris Greer had no business getting that bastard no 52 damn million. I can come. I'll be the worst quarterback in football. You can get him 52. Give me 104. That man, Dolphins ain't going nowhere. As long as Tua Tagovailoa is a part of that team, they gonna finish under 500. Never gonna go to the playoff. And the coaches are idiot too. You should have been took him out of the game. The man cannot orchestrate a game. He's the worst damn quarterback I ever seen.
Let me tell you, Doug, I'm not high on him right now. I thought he was having a good game and locked in, but you cannot fade away in the last 2 minutes of the game like that. That's not an excuse. No excuses.
Mike McDaniel needs to be gone. You should have pulled the plug on that quarter. I would have brought the other quarterback in. There's no way I would have let Tua fuck up the game like that. He messed up the whole game. I would have left him. You got 17-0, and then you just like, okay, we got this one. That's the way they was playing. University of Miami defense could stop the Dolphins. University of Miami defense could stop the Dolphins. They are only time they have a problem with their offense using against the Dolphin defense. But University of Miami defense could stop the Dolphins. I guarantee you.
I'm telling you, the Dolphins didn't get those early turnovers. They couldn't have gone anywhere. And then when they scored that 24th point with that play action pass, it was a big Malik Washington return that set that up. So, yeah, when they get a half a field, they can do things. Yeah, everyone's on the hook for that. I don't blame them. Tua, that was a sorry excuse of a 2-minute drill right there. You overthrew Jalen Waddle, and you know it. I don't want to hear from you. Actually, I do want to hear from you. We're going to hear from you post game. Let's go back to the phone line. I'm fired up. 305-567-0560. Marino in Fort Lauderdale. Marino, how you doing?
It's Mariano.
Look, I'm fired up, man.
Hey, how you doing, man? Dan, and let me tell you, buddy, everyone that's there, they haven't even been has-beens. They're not even close to it. And it all starts from the top. Not Mr. Greer, the owner, for allowing all this BS to happen. We had the head coach. He made the right move when he got Mr. Flores, and he's talking about culture, this other guy. Well, you know what? Flores would instill culture in this team. And he knew right off the bat that Tua was not an NFL winning quarterback. And he could have saved all this money, all this mumbo jumbo, and we could have gone on the right track. But now it's like this is our Cartoon Network presentation every week.
Word is that Brian Flores in that 2020 draft wanted to take an offensive lineman, not Austin Jackson, 5th overall. Then later in the draft, that other second-round first pick, take Jordan Love. Where would this team be right now, I wonder?
Well, we did hire the right guy for the job. But I guess Mr. Greer and the other, the owner wasn't really in love with this guy because he wanted to go after Burrows before that, throw in the bank and everything with the picks and everything. But this is well, in fact, my wife even told me, I told her when we woke up and we're getting ready for the game, I'm telling her, I hope we lose.
Oh,
goes, what are you talking about? I said, yeah, I hope we lose. So finally, they can clean house and start all over again.
Mariano, this is one of those losses that makes you think it might be time to clean house because everyone is on the hook for this one. Everyone did their part today to lose this game.
I even believe that the owner should even sell the team because evidently he doesn't know what the heck he's doing.
You know what, Mariano, right? I'm there with you. I'm not happy with anything the Dolphins are doing. I'm not happy with the result today. I'm not happy with how they got outplayed and out schemed the whole time. 30556, bring it.
Yeah, for me, okay. So you're up 17-0.
Yeah.
Wallace having the game of his career.
Yeah.
Down in Miami.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you're telling me that the Carolina defensive coordinator adjusted and locked him down. Then you let Waddle have the game of his career once again, and then it just ends up being all for nothing. Okay, so that's one thing. So then you're telling me you're letting Uncle Rico outrush everybody, and then to the point where you're in a fourth quarter scenario, and then all of a sudden panic mode has the chance to end the narrative right then and there.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just like, all right, well, if that happens, that happens. But for me, it's just like, okay, well, if you've seen this play out already with all this stuff going on, right? You're going to try to blame Weaver for this, but you're telling me that the Carolina defensive coordinator adjusted better than our defensive coordinator. And now, out of all that stuff, I need to hear that Bryce Young, who's on a rookie contract, outdid the guy who we just paid. And then now we're going to end up playing Justin Herbert, the guy that we probably should have drafted. I mean, does it get any better than this right now? I mean, money well spent, right? Status quo, right?
I want my money back right now. And this
no,
hey, Cap.
We're letting it ride, bro. Y'all wanted this, we're getting it. Let it ride.
When he got it with the minute 59, I see a lot of Dolphins fans out there that were just saying, dang, And he did just that. Thud. Overthrows Jalen Waddle. That is a pass that may live in infamy for a while. 305-567-0560. I hope I can get some good vibes. We're going out to
There's none, man. There's none. So you guys know I have season tickets.
Yes.
And all my season tickets are on Ticketmaster, up for sale. My season tickets for the Jets game last week didn't sell. So I ate those tickets.
Ugh.
And then, I mean, I'm watching this game today just saying, nope, I've seen this all before. Like when they just can't do anything. We can't run.
Oh,
I mean,
running game was abysmal.
I think Tua had more yardage than anybody because he and if they don't count his sacks that he took.
Right, they don't.
Our running game at one point they showed was like 19 yards, and this is in the fourth quarter.
Oh,
19 yards.
Listen.
And here's the thing. This is my bottom line. Like home, no car ride, no airplane ticket, no nothing.
Everybody
just
take the bus home.
GTFO. I saw that run on the right side all day, and I said, why aren't they adjusting?
Couldn't stop, and they went
And
right.
the guy
They went right at the
100
rookie.
yards on us.
They went right at the rookie Kenneth Grant. You want to hear something disgusting that might make you vomit, Neil? So, like, seriously, tighten yourself up, and listeners too, tighten yourself up. Trevor, seriously, tighten your stomach up. You're about to hear something that is vile. 2 1-3 teams, Carolina Panthers, who are garbage. They had 200 yards. I'm going to vomit. I'm sorry. There's never an excuse for that. Carolina Panthers, who are absolute basura, total yards, 418 to our 248.
Yeah, Weaver's got to go. I mean, think about the first game. He couldn't stop the Colts. Not one stop.
Bryce Young and Rico Dowdle. How are you going to stop anyone else in this league?
Yep, you're done. I'm done. Like, I put a lot of time and energy into being a Dolphin fan, and this has been a long
Put a lot of money into it, too.
I'm seriously thinking about how Goodwill is going to wonder.
Neil, I don't blame you right there. Thank you so much for your call. We're not stopping. We're going. Trevor, let's just do this. 305-567-0560 is the number to call. Steve in Sunrise. Steve, go ahead.
Gameday, how you doing?
Ah.
I want to say, Gameday, you don't know how you don't understand how appreciative we are.
You need to be heard.
A couple of points. The first one, this is the worst loss.
Yeah.
Since that Titans loss. Maybe the word. Remember that Titans nighttime loss?
The other Titans, the first Monday night game where Tua couldn't convert a first down because it would have won the game for us because it would have ran out the clock. And then today, touchdown, he couldn't even get a first down and overthrew Jalen Waddle by 100 yards, even though Jalen Waddle was 100 yards wide open. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, this is second. If you last week the Jets ran the ball up and down the field, I don't know why they stopped running on us. The Jets ran up and down the field. If you know that, I don't care what you do. Put him in the box. Go out. Open was talking about Christian Wilkins. I don't care what crazy idea it is. Do some odd yards of rushing given up today. How could you allow that? Put 8, 9 in the box. Give a pass. I don't care, but do something.
I like that because there was a point when even the announcers are sitting there, run it to the right side, run it to the right side, run it to the right side. And you knew Bryce Young is a turnover machine. Force him to make plays.
And the third point, Dan, I think this says something about the Dolphins right now. You tell me and comment on this one. Shannon Crowder once said when he was playing how much he enjoyed the old Dolphins would come back before the games. Once you see all the old Hurricanes come back, old Dolphins used to do that. They used to be on the sidelines. They used to be pumping up the players before the thing. Where are the Zach Tom? I don't think there's any more connection. Those players have no more connection. The Dolphins don't have connections with them anymore. Why do you see Jason Tiff? Why is he on the sideline like players just speak? There's no more connection.
That's a different one. His son does play for the Jets. That's why he was doing it.
Yeah, like I'm talking about the other. Like, why don't they invite the old players back to get us riled up? Like,
yeah, you see, Hurricanes.
Talk about how
you think Michael Irvin? He looks like a coach out there, and they got all the Hurricanes out there.
Right, where are those? I'm telling you, those are the former Dolphins. They loved Miami. They would come back and they would do it. Like, where's the connection? The Dolphins need to clean house. They just start over, Gameday, and thanks for doing this.
I appreciate you with the tongue of blow. I mean, I'm down on Jack Jones. Jack Jones had a terrible day. I think he just kind of just spun out and got treated. I'm down on Anthony Weaver. He got schooled. I'm just down on the defense. I'm down on the offense. Jalen Waddle, he did the best he could. I thought he stepped up. I don't know. 305-567-0560. Going back out to California. Maybe get some good vibes. Ruben, what's up?
How's it going, Dan? I just want to say it sucks. We lost.
I know.
But I'm so tired of hearing everybody complain about Tua this, Tua that. First of all, he did amazing.
Oh, he was amazing in the last 2 minutes? Was he amazing in the last 2 minutes? He overthrew Jalen Waddle.
Where's the defense? You have to talk about the defense.
Defense was terrible, too.
Rush, the offense? Dan, come on, Dan. That's delusional. Tua did amazing, but you're going to blame Tua, but nobody on the defense?
When I get $50 million.
You look like you. I'm not being honest. All the offense did amazing. The defense, holy moly, they can't stop for nothing.
19 rushing yards. That's amazing. 19 rushing yards for the whole game. That's amazing.
But you're not talking bad about Achan, though. You're talking about Tua. So what are you talking about Tua if it's 19 yards?
Tua had a
you
chance.
Talk bad about Tua. Hold on.
I can do this.
Tua, though.
I can do this. Your leader of your team has the ball with 2 minutes left. What do good quarterbacks do in those 2 minutes?
But we're talking about rushing, though. We're talking about.
No, you said the offense.
He ran more than Achan.
I told you. I told you. I thought Tua was locked in. I think that's why they abandoned the running game. What I'm upset with is in 2 minutes, when you had a chance to put a team away, to get a win, to drive your team, to change your season, you went 3 and out and overthrew your best receiver who was wide open. But the defense, absolutely.
I can't complain about that. You're right on the last 2 minutes. But
Ruben,
you have to understand the defense didn't show up.
Ruben, I want to agree with you. This, you've probably seen the movie 8 Mile, where Eminem goes, "How Vanilla Ice gonna get you? How are you gonna let Rico Dowdle rush for 199 yards and Bryce Young, who's a terrible quarterback, a guy who called a timeout when they didn't have timeouts left, a guy who has no awareness whatsoever? How as a defense are you going to let them do that to you?" I agree with you. The defense does not slide. And I would tell me this. You might agree with me or not. When we went 3 and out under the 2 minute drill and we punted, why are we punting and trusting our last ranked defense in the league basically to get a 3 and out?
I agree with that because I was questioning that. But that's not Tua. That's not the offense. That's McDaniel.
Ruben,
that's his choice.
Did you hear how I opened this segment? I said everyone's on the hook. Tua, Mike McDaniel, Anthony Weaver, Jack Jones, Zach Sealer. Everyone is on this hook right now.
Everyone. I agree. But do I want clean house? I don't think so. So it's a waste of time.
I understand.
We just need to fix our defense.
I understand.
Our defense may get fixed.
Our defense is statistically one of the worst in the league. And today, it didn't even look statistically one of the worst in the league. It looked like the worst defense in the league.
Yeah. But I don't say, Dan, I love you, man. I always hear your podcast. I love it, man.
I love
it, man.
Love it, Ruben. Thank you so much for jumping in. I like his has a little different take right there, Ruben. Letting us say it's all on the defense. He did say the offense was amazing. I don't know how amazing it was, but
that was not amazing at all. Offense.
Got a couple more minutes to get some more calls in before we take a break. 305-567-0560. Joe in Miami Lakes. Joe, what's on your mind?
Dan, I'm a big fan. And I agree with you. There's plenty of blame to go around. Okay, Tua, he went to the bathroom, and I'm going to put it. I'm going to leave it PG. He went to the bathroom. Okay, 2 minutes, game on the line. Mm-hmm. Now's the time to show that you're a franchise quarterback. And what happens? Not even a first down, 3 and out. Is that acceptable?
He overthrew Jalen Waddle. I'm not going to let people forget that.
Well, let's take it further back. He throws a pick against Buffalo. He doesn't get it done. I heard a caller mention about the Tennessee game a couple years ago we when they came back when it was like with 3 minutes left in the game and they won.
All we needed was a first
These
down.
are horrible.
He had
Losses.
two chances against Tennessee that time to get a first down that would have ended the game. Didn't do it.
Okay, true. But just to circle back to the present in this game, the defense isn't bad. It is atrocious. Okay,
thank you.
It is all-time bad. I'm talking about Rico Dowdle. I don't know if the callers know, but he's the second-string running back.
Absolutely, Chuba Hubbard was out.
And he got more than I want to say he got 206 yards. Okay, the NFL. If you get 100 yards as a running back, that's a great game. Okay, and that says a lot about a crappy defense.
Yeah, he finished with 206 yards.
200 yards.
No, hold up.
100.
Hold up. Rico Dowdle had 206 rushing yards. Our whole entire offense for the whole entire day had 19 rushing yards.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, where do we go from here? We gotta, it's time to blow it up. This isn't working. And the other thing I was going to mention, Dan, is okay. You have the coaches and the head coach, and they get up to the podium and they give the press conference. In their presser, they say, "Oh, I'm pleased with this progress. I'm pleased with what progress? They're not making the plays. They didn't do anything out of the ordinary. It was hand off to the right, hand off to the right, hand off to the right. What did they do? It wasn't a flea flicker. It wasn't some trick play. It was just we're gonna pound the ball and we're gonna score, and we're gonna dictate the game. But Dan, listen, I'll listen to everything else. I appreciate you taking my call, but I'm a big fan of your show, man.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it so much, man. Thank you, Joe, making me feel good right there. Yeah, it's the old tried and true. You can be innovative and you can draw up all these great plays, but you know what really works in football? The old adage: be tougher than the other guy. We're going to tell you what we're going to do, then we're going to do it to you. And the Carolina Panthers did it to us today. Ugh. Bryce Young, Rico Dowdle, 305-567-0560. Back to the phone lines. We have Charlie in Coral Springs. Charlie, come on, let's go.
What's up, brother? Hey, listen, I didn't think I could feel any worse. I was just watching the Chargers game. Justin Herbert was getting pressured in the pocket and ran about 50 yards and crushed the defensive back and got popped right back to his huddle. I said, we could have had that guy.
I know that. Yeah. Like as you're feeling bad, he piles on by making an unbelievable run, then throwing for a touchdown.
The Dolphins are close, though. We just need a new owner, a new general manager, new coach, and all new players. And we're close. We'll be close. How can they possibly fire both the general manager and the coach in mid-season? Who's going to be the head coach? Weaver?
Not after this.
Hard place.
Not after that defensive performance today.
We're in a rock. Well, they might fire him, but they could make his assistant the defensive coordinator. But where do we go? We have to wait till the end of the season.
Yeah, I agree. No, I agree with you, Charlie.
Got to make him.
Charlie, I agree.
Russ is going to lean on Greer to make the decision.
I agree with you. That firing everybody right now wouldn't make any difference other than just completely tanking this season. I want to tell you this. Before the season started, Anthony Weaver had a very simple strategy. His front seven had to get to the quarterback, had to be disruptive, had to stop the run because he knew the secondary wasn't all that great. And the front seven has not. They were key to this whole thing. They have been terrible, and that secondary is terrible, or your defense is terrible.
Well, you know what your job is going to be for the rest of the season? Talking everybody down from the water tower, because it's going to be ugly the rest of the year if this is the way they're going to play.
I'll tell you this.
Are we going to win another game?
I'll tell you this, Charlie. And I've learned this throughout all my years in football and all my years in sports. And it's not just the Dolphins, it's everybody. You're never as bad as your worst game. And hopefully, this is our worst game of the year, but you're never as good as your best. They might come out next week and they might look fantastic. But today, after a 17-1 lead.
First of all, do you believe we punted?
No.
What are you punting for?
Charlie, what are you punting for? To put it in, to trust one of the lowest ranked statistically defenses that's been getting run on all day? That's who you believed in?
I thought that they didn't know it down. I don't know what they were thinking. I'm thinking, why are they punting?
So let me tell you this, Charlie.
First down and the game's over.
Not an exaggeration. You can go back and watch it on the YouTube and Twitch. When Tua incomplete on third down, Trevor started making a fuss. And it was like, whoa, is there a penalty? Is there a time? What's going on? He goes, they're punting. I said, no, they're not punting. No, you got Tua. Like McDaniel, you're a genius when it comes to offense. You have the worst defense in the league that can't stop a nosebleed. Why would you punt?
I don't think I've ever seen anybody punt a situation like that.
I don't care.
A little bit of time.
Let's do this.
Never.
Worst case situation, not worst case, but bad field goal. They're only up by 6 at that point. You can get the ball back and try to score a touchdown and win the game. Mike Daniel didn't think of that. He trusts the last-ranked defense in the league. I can't stop Rico Dowdle.
We thought the same thing when Tua missed Waddle wide open.
Oh,
on that third down, or was it second down?
It was
Whatever
second.
It was.
It was second.
I said, "Good God, this is your time to shine, man. There's like less than 2 minutes left, and you miss him by 10 feet when he's wide open like that. He could have ran another 30 yards.
Oh, might have changed the season. It might have changed. Definitely would have changed the game.
Well, I got my blood pressure down there, buddy, so go ahead and take another call. I really appreciate you guys being there.
I appreciate that, Charlotte. We're going to take one more call, 305-567-0560. Kyle, one of the regional managers over at Duffy's. I could go for some 2-for-1 right now from Justin Sabrina about Duffy's Implantation. Kyle hit me up, and he's listening right now, and they just got us, man. They just took it to us. Oh, man. Kyle says, they did it to us today. Yeah, and that wasn't the Buffalo Bills. That wasn't, I would say Baltimore, not Baltimore. That wasn't the Philadelphia Eagles, all the Philadelphia Eagles. That wasn't the Kansas City Chiefs. That was the Carolina Panthers. Let that sink in for just a second. One more call before we go to break. Keep the calls coming. 305-567-0560. We'll take your calls till midnight if we have to. Bobby in North Miami. Bobby, what's up?
Hey, how are you?
I'm frustrated.
Let me get something off my chest.
Please.
Number one, I got a couple of big things in my mind that is bugging the hell out of me.
Go.
When your team average defense gives up 28 freaking points a game, you ain't going to win in this league. So Weaver, tomorrow I cut him. There is for a 6-pack of beer.
He doesn't have a lot to work with. Jack Jones is terrible.
No, I understand. But remember, you said it before. Stack up the line, force that SOB to throw the ball.
Yeah.
You can't give up 200 yards of rushing to a Carolina team. This is a team that Grier put together. This is a team Daniel put together. And they keep doing the same thing. That's the definition of stupidity. To do the same thing and expect a different result. You keep seeing play after play. They're trying to swing it out and outrun around the corner, and they get negative yards. Very little runs between the tackles. It was always
Chubb basically just shook and dropped the ball. How about we get the guy who stepped up in the pocket and threw it to the other team, Minkah Fitzpatrick? How about we get the guy that got so flustered he called a timeout when his team didn't have timeouts? Exactly. That's the guy you want to beat.
Why this is a copycat league. Everybody know you want to beat the Dolphins run between the tackles, and they were not ready for it.
Remember, Chuba Hubbard didn't play today. I just want to remind everybody, Chuba Hubbard, their best running back, didn't play. Rico Dowdle, 206 yards.
Yes, it's because it doesn't matter who's there when we don't have enough men on the line. You can't have this team. And as far as Tua is concerned, there is a line from old Dirty Harry movie that he says, you got to know your limitations. And we know the limitation of Tua. That's it. You can't count on Tua to be that big-time quarterback, even though you gave him that money. In order for Tua to win, you have to have a complementary of a running game, an offensive line, and a good defense. Then you win, which we lack in all 3 spots.
Bobby, I want you to repeat
We don't have an offensive line. We don't have a defensive front. And be honest with you, we don't have a good coach. He looks like deer in headlights. Why are you? What do you got to lose? You're punting with a minute left? You're punting?
And you're letting the last-ranked defense in the league try to hold up.
This defense has not been able to stop anybody. Anybody today. 200 yards from above probably works next week on a UPS. The guy is going to beat you, and you're going to give the defense who's out of gas anyway, who's been thrown all over the field, and you're going to trust them? That tells me he quit. That tells me he is not the right coach. And I will fire him tomorrow.
Bobby, that's what I'm talking about. Strong. I can't argue with any of that. I don't think anybody gets fired right now. It's not like college where you have to start looking for a new coach right away. Can't even really do anything until the end of the season. So firing someone at this point of the season, I don't think really is going to change a lot. And I don't think Mike McDaniel is going to quit. Usually when we see this interim type situations, it's stuff like that. But this is as frustrating as it gets. And as I've said, and we're going to get your calls in just a minute, 305-567-0560. Everyone is on the hook for this one, from Tua Tagovailoa to Zach Sealer to Anthony Weaver, to Mike McDaniel, everyone. Darren Waller has an unbelievable first half, disappears in the second half. Why is that? Jalen Waddle steps up because he had to step up. And then he gets overthrown in a crucial point in the game. Jack Jones had a terrible day. There's no other way to put it. Okay, we say the streets need a body sometimes. Someone might get cut tomorrow. I'm just saying, I would not be surprised if the one person that hangs for this is Jack Jones. He may get cut tomorrow. I'm going to take a break, come back. 305-567-0560. We'll take your calls all night long. I'm not going anywhere. I'll pay Trevor overtime. I don't care. We're doing this. And Trevor's happy about that. Trevor's like, keep the Dolphins losing. Let's go.
Please.
This is Game Day Uncensored, Postgame on 104.3 FM WQAM.
FM 1043 or on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps. All of our shows are there live or on demand. Plus, there's the cool rewind feature where you can listen to any part of any show you might have missed anytime.
Now, let's get back to the Game Day Uncensored post-game show on FM 1043 WQAM. Miami's
Frustration with the Miami Dolphins today is only overshadowed by my anxiety about these Miami Dolphins. It's not like they're a good team that went into another good team's house and a bounce here and there or a bad call here and there cost them the game. They went into a bad team's house, got up 17-0, and then their defense couldn't stop the run. Their offense forgot how to score. They had 19 total rushing yards. And then when they had the chance to man up and change the narrative with a 2-minute drill, they went 3 and out and decided to punt. Those are fundamental problems. Like I said, you have a bounce here, you have a bounce there, you have a bad call here, you have a bad call here, you accidentally step out, and you say, man, what happened? We can't catch a break. That's okay. That can be fixed. But if you have fundamental problems, like let's just say 19 total rushing yards, let's just say Bryce Young and Rico Dowdle took care of business against you today. Your $51 million a year quarterback had a 2-minute drill with a chance to win. Couldn't even get a first down and overthrew his best receiver who was wide open. You punt instead of going for it, even though I know you're on the 20, 30-yard line, but you don't trust in that quarterback and your offensive prowess. Those are fundamental problems that have you saying we're 1-4 for a reason. 305-567-0560. I'm going to try not to talk too much today anymore. I'm going to let you do all the speaking. It's all on you now. 305-567-0560. We have Aiden in Fort Lauderdale. Go ahead, Aiden.
Hey, how you doing? I appreciate you taking the phone call.
Glad to have you.
I truly think the problem starts with Mike. But before Mike, I think it goes back to Stephen Ross. And what I mean by that is, look, the Dolphins are worth $10 billion right now, combined with the stadium, F1, Miami Open, all of it. So Stephen Ross, unfortunately, is not going to sell the team anytime soon. But being the Miami owner he is, he wants all the splashiness. He wants, I'm going to get the young, smart Yale head coach. I'm going to, whatever. And it's just so unhelpful because academia could take you so far. Mike McDaniel could be the smartest person ever. He could be staying up till 2 a.m. every single night, making new plays. That's awesome. But if you don't have actual game experience, you're never going to do anything. And, as I'm a young fan, I grew up with Joe Philbin, then Adam Gase, Brian Flores. It's been rough. Actually, Dan Campbell, shout out, best head coach of my time. But, it's just been disgusting. And truly, I just think Stephen Ross needs to get it together and understand I don't need a splashy play. Get a head coach who has experience. Get a GM who has experience. And then pick Noah Igbenogany in the first round. There are better things to do. And he just wants the splash is not going to be gone because the Dolphins are way too valuable and no one's going to buy them. So what do you do from there? Hire a good GM and coach who have experience.
Yeah, I'm totally down with that right there. It does seem as though there's been some fundamental problems, hence why the Dolphins have not won a playoff game in 25 years. 305-567-0560. Mark in Key Largo, how's it hanging?
Hey, it's good. The pro football reveals greatness and exposes weakness. Mm-hmm. Mike McDaniel is obviously had been a great offensive coordinator. He's not a great head coach. And Stephen Ross would not accept this type of incompetence from any employee in any of his other industries. So, yeah, there needs to be big changes. And the same thing with Tua, Tagovailoa. He was a great statistical quarterback behind a national championship offensive team. And he's not a great pro football quarterback.
Mark, do you feel as though today is kind of the tipping point of the season where the Dolphins revealed to you that it's time, this is not going to be a good team this year?
I go back more to last season. We were seeing this from last season. And also the fact I was upset that they didn't take Justin Herbert, because remember, Tua Tagovailoa had the same hip injury that the great running back, I forget his name right now, but it ended his playing days.
You're talking about Bo Jackson?
Yes.
Wow.
He had the exact same hip injury, and he was also, you have to look at people like he's a fighter with the glass jaw. He's susceptible. At the point you have to move on. I feel like Stephen Ross is looking at Mike McDaniel like a grandkid and being soft about not pulling the plug and not being realistic that, hey, I like this guy on paper, but he's not working out in reality.
I agree with you, Mark. Last week, someone called and says, what do you think is the fundamental problem with the Miami Dolphins? Why haven't they been able to win lately? What seems to be the issue? And everybody want to say, Chris Greer, this. I said, no. They're fundamentally soft. Vic Fangio comes in, raises hell, they boo-hoo him out of town. Brian Flores comes into town, kicks, you know what? They run him out of town. Dan Campbell, although he was an interim coach, Oklahoma drills, no thank you.
It's that country club attitude with the Dolphins have.
And then Dan Campbell now beloved in Detroit. Why? Because he's tough. Vic Fangio wins the Super Bowl in Philadelphia. Why? Because he's tough. Oh no.
And plays rookie players too also.
Brian Flores. He can't be a head coach right now but his defense is good in Vikings. Their players love him. But our players said, over the hill, too old-fashioned. Vic Fangio leaves and said the kids want to be in the club more than they want to be at the stadium. And we said, get the hell out of here. And Vic Fangio didn't even look back. This team is fundamentally soft. And when you're soft mentally and physically, it shows in the field. And that's what happened today. And that 2-minute drill, that's a tip point. I don't know if it's the end of the season, but I do know now it is hopefully just the low point in the season. 305-567-0560. We have Alex and Kendall. Alex, what's on your mind?
Hey, what's up, Trevor? Hey, what's up, Danny? How are you guys? I know. All right, so here it is, right? So, I listen every morning. I wake up every morning, listen to, Joe Rose. I listen to Overly Boy. I listen to you in the afternoon, Hockman and Crowder. And what pisses me off is the fact that we talk about this all the time, right? But there's no action. But what seems to be the problem is the fact that Christian Wilkins has been at free agency this past, I want to say 3-4 months, and no one's even touched him. And the fact that they just came down and they just ran down our throat. That's all they did. They just ran down our throat. They just said, you know what, we're just going to hand it off to some backup running back, and we're going to run it down your throat. We're going to run it down your throat. There's to a point where we had no answer for it. I mean, there wasn't even anything like, hey, let's switch it up to a 4-3 defense or a 4-6 or a 4-3-6 bear defense. Nothing. I mean, there was no scheming whatsoever on the defensive side.
They couldn't even stop him on the goal. They couldn't stop him on the goal line either when they had the thing stacked. Let me tell you this.
100%.
Let me tell you this. Okay, so it got so bad, and I thought today's announcing team was fantastic. Mark Schlereth, I give him all the credit in the world. Jen Hale was actually my mentor, so of course I'm to her. But Mark Schlereth kept being like, "Don't pass the ball, run it to the right. Don't pass the." I just keep running it to the right. It's that obvious.
It was so bad. It was so bad. It looked like somebody was playing video games against us. And then we flipped the script on the offensive side of the ball. Darren Waller, they were talking about how he's going to be the comeback player of the year at the halftime show and all this greatness. Guy disappears, became Casper. Like, I don't know what happened where they probably got, Sam Madison, Patrick Sedan out of retirement. And the corners became the greatest corners in the world, the tag team duo, and they just locked them down. Something had to happen. I'll tell you what, it's because Mike McDaniel knows that Tua cannot do certain things, so he knows that he cannot call certain plays. But if you're handicapped and if you know you're about to lose your job, don't you think that you're going to go ahead and try to do something out of this world to try to make something happen? I mean,
Alex, how about go for it on 4th down instead of punting the ball with less than 2 minutes left? How about do something crazy like that?
I mean, to be honest with you, and 100% honest with you, that is the number one thing. If I'm Stephen Ross right now, I'm having a phone call with you saying, why would you give them back the ball when they just ran down our throat 200 and something yards? You haven't been able to shut them down for the 3rd and 4th quarter. I mean, it's peewee football. I mean, come on, for God's sake. For God's sake, my mom is 75 years old, and she even says, she goes, "This is just terrible. I don't even know football, and I know don't give the ball to the opponent when they're just going to go ahead and score on you." I mean, it's absolutely unbearable. It's honestly just, I would bench Tua. Let me see Q Newers. Let me see some aggressiveness on the offensive side of the ball. Let's see some spark on there. Everybody talks about Tyreek Hill wants to rework the contract. You know what? I truly believe that Tyreek Hill was clapping his hands because he doesn't have to be with subpar Dolphins anymore on the offensive side of the ball.
Alex, I'm just as frustrated as you right now. It has been one of those days. One of those days. Now, I'm not saying the season is a total wash, but it is one of those days where just I need to stop by Jensen's liquor store and go see Manny and Don Julio after this one because I'm going to need some beers to relax myself. So let's take a quick relaxation break. We're going to hear from Mike McDaniel. We're definitely going to hear from Tua, and I'm going to be very critical of Tua and his responses unless he just comes out and owns it. And if he owns it, more power to him. Doesn't change the fact that he did not get it done when he got paid $51 million. That's what you do. 305-567-0560. We're going to get to your calls. We're going to take a break. We're taking you to 7:30 here on Game Day Uncensored Postgame, 104.3 FM WQAM.
and WQAM AM Miami, an Odyssey Sports Station.
Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
The game is ended, and now we begin. It's Game Day Uncensored, Postgame Edition. Real talk, real reaction on FM 104.3 WQAM, Miami Sports Leader.
My biggest takeaway from today's 27-24 loss is this. Our quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa, numero uno, was locked in. All day long, I said it. He is playing out of his mind. He is playing like an all-pro quarterback. He's completed a bunch of passes. I think he's going to have a ton of yards. He's throwing touchdowns. I even think the team kind of abandoned the run because he was so locked in. This is what makes it even worse. He was locked in all day. He even threw a great play-action pass, wide open Jalen Waddle that I thought probably won us the game, 24-20. But lo and behold, they come down and drive, and I say, no problem at all. Tua's locked in, and he's got a minute 59. Watch this. He's about to earn that pay. He's about to change that narrative. He went 3 and out, including a miserably overthrown ball to Jalen Waddle. He was locked in all day until the bright lights shined on him, and he faded away. And that right there is what I'm taking away, numero uno, number one, from this game. 305-567-0560. Going back to the phones. Abel, go ahead.
Good afternoon, Gameday and Trevor. You know, last week I really tried to call you guys, and I was like, you know what? I have been calling the last couple of weeks, and I didn't want to be just that caller that calls when bad things happen, right? So I called, and the lines were busy, and then I got on, and I couldn't really talk to you. So I was like, all right, it's all right. Then we're up 17-0 today, right?
They were in control.
Thinking, man, you know, this team, we're getting the turnovers that we haven't been getting all off season. I mean, the offense is moving the ball. We weren't rushing, but you know what? We're up 17-0. Oh, let me go grab lunch really quick. I come home, and I will not forget this. The commentator who was a Gus Johnson wannabe guy, I don't know who the hell that guy was, the play-by-play guy.
I think his name was Nick Collins.
Saying, oh, my God. Well, he said when they made a catch, and it was like 17-0, and they made like a spectacular catch, McMillan or whatever the hell his name is, and he goes, that's the type of catch that's going to turn your season around.
Yeah, I started laughing.
I looked at my wife, and I was like, God, did you hear this guy? What a bum. Like, well, why would he say that? Dude, 17-0. Oh, yeah, good luck with that. And look at that. He was absolutely right. And you know why he was absolutely right? Because we have perhaps the most inept coaching staff in the entire NFL. When you have a defensive coordinator, because this is Mike McDaniel's third defensive coordinator, right? Because he hasn't figured it out yet, because he the first year he came in, that guy didn't work out. So he goes and gets Big Fangio, and everybody say, well, the defense is going to get big. We're going to go get Big Fangio. The guy's a star. He's an NFL legend. All this nonsense. And he got out of here so quick because he's like, I don't want to be here because there's no structure, there's no discipline, and that's a show of all the stupid penalties that we have week in and week out. Every single week, you're always good for a couple of motion penalties, illegal man downfield, false start, holding, the same reciprocal, the same stupid penalties that do not get cleaned up. Because you know why they don't get cleaned up? Because you don't have a guy, you don't have a head coach that will hold their players accountable. You have a guy that's their buddy. You have a camp counselor. You have Mr. Mackey out there telling everybody, oh, you know, it's okay, buddy. Let me give you a hug. Don't worry. Let me kiss my quarterback. Let me do all this nonsense. Why? Because that's what he cares about. He comes from that tree, that hippie tree of, Lord, let me just peace and love. Kumbaya. No. We don't need that. And you know what? This problem starts from the top, from Chris Greer, and I will go even a step ahead with Tom Garfinkel, because obviously he's not in Stephen Ross's ear enough, telling him everything that is going wrong with his franchise. And he said after week 2 that he wasn't going to have no heads were going to roll until the team quit or unless players don't show. Wait till Sunday when it's going to be an absolute ghost town when the Dolphins come out on the field on Sunday, because no fan here will put up with this type of nonsense. 240 whatever rushing yards with a team that didn't even have their starting running back. That is an all-time low moment for this once, and I mean once, proud franchise. And also one last thing. You had a caller earlier about 30 minutes ago, Ruben from California. That guy's definitely Tua's family member, because he comes out here and said we need to stop talking bad about Tua. What do you mean, bro? Tua had the chance. Tua had the chance to win the game, and he chickened out. Like he's chickened out in every single opportunity he's ever had, except for the Dallas on Christmas Eve 2 years ago. Unfortunately, the guy doesn't have it. He doesn't have it. The play calling is not there. It's always an inopportune sack. It's always an overthrow. It's always an interception. And it's always something. And we need to stop making excuses for that.
I have nothing to add to that. 305-567-0560. Let's go to Anthony. Anthony is in Long Island, New York. Anthony, welcome in.
Hey, my friend, how are you? Appreciate all your hard work and your show. You guys work really hard and you do a great job. And it's really gives an avenue to vent. So, as you know, I spoke to you before. Last time I spoke to you in Hawaii. We're back on Long Island now. And honestly, I shut the game off. Beginning of third quarter, their first possession, when their first run from scrimmage was about 35 yards. I shut the game off.
No. It's a 53-yard run, by the way. A 53-yard run to
I
open up the second
apologize.
half.
Well, you know what it is? Guess what? I didn't get a chance for him to even complete the run. When I saw him running past the safeties in the secondary, I said, I can't watch this. I shut it off. Now, yeah, I did peek and cheat and went back to listen to Joe and Jimmy on Sirius XM for a little bit. And then, of course, when I saw 24 to 20, I was like, hey, believe it or not, as horrible as we don't even know we were up 17-0, we got there's a chance to win this. Bottom line is this: we needed this to happen. We do. We need this to happen. We need to lose. We have to lose, because if we continue to sporadically get a couple of victories here and there, it just appeases whomever. I'm going to Mr. Ross. I don't know. Once again, I'll get into that in a second. We need to lose. As hard as it is, 65 years old, been there, done that with the Jimmy Johnsons, with of course Don Shula, with Dave Wannstedt, with some hardcore. Even though Wannstedt wasn't, he was tough, but he wasn't. But he was a good. He was able to speak with the team. This guy, when I was in Brooklyn, I do construction inspections, and I'm about to walk up this ladder. I'm like, this is going to be our coach. This guy sounds like a hippie from, I don't know, the lost tapes of whatever. I don't know. He sounded so weird and so out of it. And I'm like, this guy is going to be our coach. It was never going to work.
Anthony,
he's got no shot.
Anthony, let me remind you, or let me ask you this. You know how many interviews for a head coach that Mike McDaniel went on?
One.
Exactly.
For us, just for this team. It's just, but it's hard, but it's a tough love. We need to continue to lose. And then, you know what? I heard Omar Kelly. I'm not really a fan, but Omar Kelly speaking with Joe Rose and said, well, Chris Greer is pretty much untouchable because he knows where the bodies are buried and this, that, the other. Who cares? I mean, it's not a racial thing here. Who cares what you look like and what color your skin is? You do the job and you do it the right way, or you don't last. I mean, look! We discovered another draft pick. What's his name? Oh, the kid from South Carolina.
Cam Smith.
We just let go. This you can't continue. And I heard, and good job by you before. Now, let's go to second. Are you busy? When you talk about Lawrence was too tough. There was another coach you spoke about that didn't work out. I'm sorry, it's escaping my brain. Anyway, I loved Flores. I'm sorry, but I did because that's what you need. And Dan Campbell, sorry. Dan Campbell, Oklahoma, sorry, it's not going to work. So you got a guy that does kissy and wears his ankle, so you can see his ankle socks on the sideline and his $10,000 Rolex. Come on, stop.
I'll tell you this. When you have that tough mentality, that tough attitude, what do they always say? When the going gets tough, the tough get going. We're going to Homestead. 305-567-0560. Ed is with us right now. Ed, what you got?
Hey, my brother. Right now, I'm angry. I'm mad. I'm frustrated.
I'm with you.
And
I'm
if
scared
it were up
too.
to me, Daniel would get fired on the plane ride home. But I know that's not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
But what I'm telling you, next week, October 12th, if Justin Herbert comes here and throws for 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, and outshines Tua, oh my God, are we going to go wild?
But would this be the most Dolphins intuitive thing to do? The one game he balls out this season will be against Justin Herbert and the Chargers?
No, but I'm just hoping Justin Herbert comes in here and has the game of his life, because then it's going to hit the fan. Because then they'll be proven wrong. Because then it'll be time to fire everybody. I'm just, I'm a Dolphin fan. I love the Dolphins, but I so want Justin Herbert to come in here next week and throw for 500 yards, because that would just be poetic justice.
It would prove a lot of things that maybe, just maybe, they should have taken Justin Herbert. One more phone call before we take a break. 305-567-0560. We have Daryl in Tampa. Daryl, what's on your mind?
How you doing, brother?
Woo! I'm a little fired up right now. I don't know about you.
Brother, I'm going to say this to you. I'm a friend of Joe Rose. I call my name Daryl, but I go by my radio now. Doing radio back in the day for IBM, standing for International Black Man. I'm the biggest Dolphin fan on the planet, brother.
Let's go.
I'm going to break it down. I'm sorry, go ahead, sir.
I said, let's go. I like it.
Hey, man, listen, I'm going to break it down to all you Dolphins fans. When y'all going to wake up, man? Y'all get what y'all deserve. You have a coach. He didn't want Brian Flores. He didn't want Tua because he was garbage. He was done. A hip and a bone ankle in college. But Steve Rose want him. Just Grill want him. Yeah, just have a in your face like you playing cards. You play the best hand you got and hope you win. No, we lost.
IBM, I got a question for you that you brought up Brian Flores. Remember back years ago when Tua Tagovailoa was the starting quarterback against the Raiders? What happened at the end of the game? What did Brian Flores do at the end of the game when it got close? What did he do with Tua Tagovailoa in that Raiders game?
I think he was off on his ass, did he? Bench, I don't know. I can't remember in a minute. What he did, brother?
He yanked him out and put in Ryan Fitzpatrick. Ain't that guy in the crunch? And guess what Ryan Fitzpatrick did? He won the game. Brian Flores
You're right.
Brian Flores knew it all along. We should have known it in that Raiders game. Brian Flores said, nuh-uh.
You know that him and Chris Grill got into it. He wanted Justin, and he said, no, I ought to resign right then. I want to coach. I said, man, you want to listen to me. I'm the coach. You hired me to do my job. Let me do my job. Now, I know you're the boss. I know you got to throw it over me, but you hired me as a coach. Let me coach. I know what I'm doing. That's what we doing in Minnesota. We did bad with him when we had nothing.
Yep.
You a clown. I'm sorry. He's a clown. And then all you, somebody like you say, that Ruben, that like Tua, man, he must be his brother or somebody. I ain't gonna say the word I want to see, but damn, really? What open your eyes? He sucked, man. I've been tired of him for the longest. And you like guy that called like before I came on. I hope Justin Herbert come here and get 400 goddamn yards.
IBM, I hear you on that. I will say this. There's an old saying in the South. You know, I'm a Southern guy, born and raised in New Orleans. Big Lynn's my mom. Like Mom always said, honey, it ain't where you start. It's where you finish. Tua, you had a good game, but you didn't finish. We don't pay you $51 million to not finish. So I'm frustrated like IBM right now. Taking a break, taking more of your calls, 305-567-0560. This is Game Day Uncensored on 104.3 FM, WQAM.
WQAM, broadcasting live
Postgame Show on FM 104.3 WQAM, Miami's sports leader.
What rings in my head right now after a 27-24 loss by the Miami Dolphins to the Carolina Panthers is the actions and words of some of the Dolphins' past coaches and players like Vic Fangio, who we tried to run out of town and who couldn't get out of town fast enough. And on the way out, he said these players are more worried about going out and getting out here to practice. Jordan Poyer, who was a longtime Bill, played for the Dolphins last year, back on the Bills. When he was with the Dolphins, said, now that I'm with this team, I see it a little differently. But on the outside looking in, the rest of the league, they always said the Dolphins are really soft and they're going to always fade away at the end of a game. And Brian Flores, a guy who allegedly didn't really want to take Tua Tagovailoa in the draft, a guy who, for the most part, looked like he didn't really want to play Tua Tagovailoa that much, and a guy who one time against the Raiders, when the game was on the line, pulled Tua Tagovailoa out and put Ryan Fitzpatrick in. Those actions and words ring so loudly in my head right now, and I know I'm just a little bit down. Hopefully this is the worst game of the year. But man, it just seems like there are possibly some really fundamental problems wrong with this Dolphins team. 305-567-0560 is the number to call. I want to hear what you have to think. Allison from Hollywood. Go ahead.
Hey guys. This comes down to one thing. I mean, like you just said, your caller before that was like 24-20. We're in it. We're going to win it. Defense wasn't playing 100%, but they kept us in the game. You got 2 minutes. You get the ball back with 2 minutes. That's a lot of time. And you go 3 and out. No running game. No running. I coached Pee-wee. I coached Optimus. I could have called a better play call in that last 2 minutes. I mean, you Waller. What I think Mike McDaniels likes to outthink his own self, and this falls on him and Tua. But we already know Tua has shown you who he is throughout this whole season. He's not that guy. He's not a 2-minute guy. So that's why it falls on Daniel.
Allison.
Yeah, it falls on Tua, but it falls on Daniels because, like you said, Flores knew that Tua wasn't the guy, but Daniel still puts him in that position and makes him throw 3 throws and then punts the ball. That's the sickening part of this game. And if Ross doesn't fire this guy, I don't know what else is it going to take for you? I mean, and as far as Tua, my theory is as soon as he got thrown on his back, he played scared Tua for the rest of the game. That's it. I'll take the comments off the air.
Okay, Allison, I was going to ask you one thing real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
A good coach and a good quarterback in this league, and I was in New Orleans for Sean Payton and Drew Brees, would salivate to get the ball back with a minute 59, down by 3, and 3 timeouts.
Yes, that's true. 3 timeouts, too, and you go 3 and out and give the other team back the ball whose offense was on fire. Our defense, I mean, come on, you saw your defense was gassed, and you still said, no, we're going to punt and just take our chances, and look what happened. It was so...
I know. And the other side of it is this. I'll bring back Drew Brees and Sean Payton. They get the ball back with a minute 59 in the game and 3 timeouts. They would have to start when they got close to the goal line running the clock because they don't want to give the ball back to the other team. We couldn't complete a pass. 305-567-0560. Going out to my Duty out there in the ATL. Duty, make me feel good.
I don't know if I can do that, Dan. Where you at?
Where you at, man? Man, I'm frustrated right now. Where you at?
Yeah, same, dude. I guess you can go silver lining and say maybe this is the catalyst to just let's go blow it up. Like what are we doing here? There's nothing to be confident about anymore. Like this game is in the bag, and they blew it in so many ways. So I did a little bit of research. My brother actually sent me his ChatGPT results for asking if any football team, college or pro, has ever punted the ball while down 3 with 75 seconds. And apparently there was one game where the Falcons punted the ball with 70 seconds left while down by 3. They were on the Buccaneers' 41-yard line. So they could have either attempted a 58-yarder, which, in 2008 or 2005, I don't think they were doing 58-yarders, but They punted the ball and ended up losing the game because the Buccaneers ran out the clock. It was dubbed the dumbest punt in NFL history, and Mike McDaniel has entered the chat.
He is right up there, dude. You sound demoralized more than frustrated. At least I'm angry. I'm hoping they've still got something on the season, man. But that punt bewildered me. Like I said, I thought Trevor was telling me there was a penalty or something was going on, and I was like, wait, no, they can't be punting because even if you do turn it, even if you turn over on downs, all you have to do is stop the Carolina Panthers, who are just going to run the ball 3 times. They kick a field goal, you still get the ball back, and you're only down by 6.
Yeah, and you're punting to a team that you've already allowed almost 50 rushing yards to. Like, what gave you the idea that your defense might be able to make that stop and you get the ball back, even if you have 3 timeouts? What are you doing?
You're trusting statistically one of the worst defenses in the league.
Right. Like, what confidence did you have in the defense's ability to make that stop when they had to? And instead of getting a 4th down conversion with about a minute left, like what are we doing? And then it shows no confidence in your offense, I guess. Is that it? Like, because Brian Flores, like you said, he saw that Tua just can't do it in the clutch, which is weird that he actually won a national championship. But I guess his team was a little better back then.
Team around him.
This team is now.
He had a good coach too.
Yeah, that helps. And I guess we don't have one. So, yeah, I know. It's like, okay, yeah, you fire the GM and the coach after game 5 of the season. Like, okay, then what? What are you going to do then? You put interim people in position. It's a disaster either way. So it's like, what can we do to, factor? How can we reset in a way that makes sense? It's something.
Jones is the obvious one. He might not make it back with the team. I'm just speculating. I mean, you're probably better off. Nonetheless, dude, this is my thing. I'm scared. I'm not just frustrated. I'm scared because those are fundamental problems that your defense gets worked by Rico Dowdle. Your offense on a 2-minute drill can't complete a pass. That your coach punts with 75 seconds left in the game down by 3. Those are fundamental problems. Those aren't, man, that referee screwed us, or, oh, crap, if he wouldn't have tripped. Those I can live with. These are things that are really fundamental and deep that we have with the Dolphins right now.
100%. So, yeah, rotten to the core. So what do? Do you just let them fail the rest of the season and then make changes at, like, first day, like that Black Monday? Oh, boy, everybody going.
Get it ready. Well, dude, we'll meet up at Funky Buddha. If you were in town, we go afterwards because I need a couple of beers after this game.
Dude, I got some, but yeah, I'll be down there over the holidays, baby. I'll see you.
You know where to find me. That's my dude right there. Back to the phone lines, 305-567-0560. We have Gilbert from Fort Lauderdale. Gilbert, go ahead.
Yo, big dog, what's good? Long time no see.
Yeah, man, what's up?
Not much, man. How's it going, bro?
I'm nervous. I'm scared. I'm angry. I'm frustrated, and I need a beer. So I guess that's kind of me and Enigma wrapped up into a riddle.
Sounds about right. Hey, real talk. I love how you quoted it. Streets in your body, right? So you watch Raising Kanan, right?
No, actually, my co-host, my cousin Vladimir Luson watches that, and he brought it to my attention. But yeah, I have heard the phrase.
All right. The show he got it from is Raising Kanan, and this is literally just a quote from that too. One of the main characters. What did he say to his brother? You soft. You're as long you're okay with losing everything I gave you as long as you're looking pretty doing it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the dope. They don't care. They want to do more TikTok. They want to do stupid stuff like Kemp, do these backflips, and everybody's they're not worried about winning as much as they want to showboat and do Instagram BS. And that's the problem with the Dolphins.
Gilbert,
like you said,
you bring up a great point. And I thought about this, and at the time, I didn't think it was very important. When we got those first 2 early turnovers, I thought that the celebrations were a little excessive considering it was the first quarter.
Right. Agreed.
Because they want to make SportsCenter. They want to make TikTok. They want to make everybody talk about them. The game wasn't over at that point, obviously. But now you're making sense now. Right. They want to look pretty and lose rather than look ugly and win.
Agreed 100%. And even looking back to Chop, and this is not to call Chop specifically, but look at Chop. Like he gets a sack after like 8-10 weeks of last year, right, or whatever it is, however long it took him, and he wants to. And they have a losing record, and then he gets a sack, and then he gets the whole team involved. Oh, Chop! It's so stupid, bro. You guys suck. They all suck. Yeah, go ahead.
Let's give credit to one Jalen Waddle, who stepped up and knew he had to step up. He doesn't do the Waddle. He scored today. He said, no, I mean, he did not do the Waddle today, man. He said, forget that. Ain't no time for all that. It's time for winning. He seems like he understands the serious situation that this team is in.
Agreed. But again, like I said, case in point, the point I was trying to make was upset about it. They're millennial good. They're not good. They're millennial good. They want to celebrate mediocrity and just, hey, let's show up and try. No, bro. It's winning or losing, bro. That's what the standard is. Standard is the standard. I can't lower the standard for you or anybody else because at the end of the day, we start lowering the standard, we're going to lose collectively, and that's what they do. Week in and week out, they lose collectively because they constantly lower the standard.
I agree with you on that, and I'll quote the great Ari Gold from Entourage. There are no asterisks in life, only scoreboards. There is no asterisk that says, oh, but this. Only a scoreboard that says you lost 27-24 today. Nothing other than that. 305-567-0560 is the number to call. Let's go right now to, trying to find him real quick. Damien in Hollywood. Damien, go ahead, man.
Hey, good afternoon, gentlemen. Thanks for taking my call. Appreciate it. Like you said, Dan Day, while you punted the ball, I watched this game, Dan Day, 17-0. I have no expectations whatsoever. And Dolphins fans, this is what you got to do. We're all reacting right now. Take it. Stop spending money and stop showing up. That's the answer. This coach is a joke. It's like a clown show. Tua Tagovailoa has been paid millions of dollars, and 2 minutes you can see he gets anxious.
Mm-hmm.
Their offensive line is garbage. Right. And, it's just crazy, guys. I mean, it's just crazy. And 30-something, 40-something years of this, and Stephen Ross is, he's just concerned about Formula One tennis tournaments and next year with the World Cup. I mean, this guy would not have survived in any other team right now. This guy would not survive right now. It is a joke. You punt the ball and you're down, fourth down. The defense hasn't been stopping this team. And then I thought Derrick Henry got traded to Carolina today. 200 and something yards.
I never knew Rico Dowdle was such a they're saving him. What they're saving him for?
Right, exactly. But like I said, Dan, I mean, did they watch the Hurricanes game last night? You make adjustments. The FSU goes down and scored 3 points. They don't get nothing until the fourth quarter because, Mario Perry is conservative, but the defense was gas. But the team ran the ball. Carson Beck threw the ball down the field. Tua overthrows the man. Another game, you can't come through in the clutch. Is like, what's the point?
Like I said, man, Mama always said, it's not where you start, it's where you finish. And like I said, any good quarterback and coach would dream of that situation. 1:59, 3 timeouts, and the ball in your hand. And what did we do? 3 and out and overthrew our wide open receiver on a second down and punted with about 75 seconds left. One more phone call before we go to break. We're just going to continue to take your phone calls. 305-567-0560. Paul and Davie. Paul, bring it. What's up?
You there?
Yeah, Paul, what's up?
Hey, listen, the last caller kind of stole my thunder.
Go ahead, though.
I've been a Dolphins fan for over 50 years, and this year I divorced him. I went out with my son. We went to Markham Park. We enjoyed ourselves. It's very clear to me, as it should be for other Dolphin fans, that the owner does not want to win the championship. You hired Greer. And I know people are going to say, well, you can't go back in time. And yet you have to go back in time to look at the Tua pick because Herbert was right there. And he made that pick, or maybe the owner did. I'm not sure. But making that pick over Herbert when you had all the information in front of you that Tua was injury prone says the story right there. The offensive line sucks. It's been sucking for years. The defensive line sucks. It's been sucking for years. Now the owner didn't. I don't think he hired Cam Cameron. But let's look. Cam Cameron, Joe Poindexter Philbin, Adam Gase. Flores is the wild card. I didn't like him at first, but it's become clear to me that he really was trying to fix this team. Little defensive oriented, not as offensive, risk taking. Fine, I get it. But then you get Dan Campbell coming in as the interim coach, and everyone's gelling around him, and everyone's talking about this guy. He's a man's man. He's the coach, and they're all rallying around him. You're the owner of the team. You have to look at that and go, you know what, Dan? Normally, I wouldn't give you a chance because I don't know you, but you know what? Everyone seems to be rallying around you. I'm going to give you 2 years. And Greer, but see, the problem is you got to stop going to the games. You got to stop buying the merchandise. You got to stop paying attention. No watching the games, nothing. I wrote this on the website numerous times, like Ross, NHL's happening next week. I can't wait for the Panthers. I've been a diehard, drooling Dolphins fan. I'm just listening to the after game now because I'm doing something on the computer.
Thank you.
I don't watch a game. I don't care. I am so happy that they lost because the only way for everyone to potentially get a better team is, one, for the owner to sell the team, two, the owner to not sell the team and say, Greer, you're fired, along with all the scouts, clean house completely. Get a GM that's a strong GM and a strong coach. If you're going to take a chance on a coach, logic would dictate, I'm going to go to into the college ranks. Now, we've tried this with Saban. I get it. But that doesn't mean you stop doing it. You go to the college rankings and you find a coach that manages both the offense and the defense, top level team. You say, I'm going to give you a chance, because that coach has the responsibility and knows how to put together a game plan for the offensive side and the defensive side. It's not a project. We have all these projects going on. That rests with the owner. He should fire the GM. He should fire the coach. The other coach said, well, what should we do? Absolutely what I just said. You're all gone. See you later. I don't care. Lose every single game. And then make sure that you have the right management in place to say, I'm going to make the right decisions. And also, that GM sits down with the owner, sits down with the coach. I want a nasty offensive line. I want a nasty defensive line. I want the guys where, they're not kicking them, but they're not like, get out of my way. I'm going to beat you. And until you get players like that and a coach that wants to coach and has passion, you're never going to win.
Paul's not alone in Dolphin Nation. A lot of people saying that. And hey, what do successful businesses have? Good management and leadership. What do bad businesses have? Going to continue to take your calls. 305-567-0560. Going to take a break. Going to be back in just a minute. Hold tight. This is Game Day Uncensored Postgame. And the station you're listening to, 104.3 FM WQAM, Miami's sports leader.
This October, make time for the important things. 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer. Early detection can change everything. All month long, WQAM and Bears Furniture are here to remind women to schedule screenings, ask questions, and take care of your health. Men, please let the women you love in your life know as well. Visit WQAM.com for resources on prevention and early detection. This reminder is sponsored by Bears Furniture. Together we furnish hope. For over 80 years, Bears Furniture has served our community with care. And today we proudly support breast cancer awareness.
Puka, Bella, I'm sure you've noticed some changes.
Who are you talking to?
I'm just practicing for when I have to tell the dogs about the twins. Because they'll...
Be fine in the spacious third row seat.
But the twins...
Can sleep peacefully thanks to the rear manual sunshade.
And what about the...
Extra cargo space for strollers and dog beds?
I guess you're right.
Can we go to the hospital now? The contractions are getting closer.
The 3-row Lexus TX. Because everyone should feel like the center of the universe. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Stay high on life.
Postgame Show on FM 104.3 WQAM, Miami's sports leader.
We're going to hear from Mike McDaniel and Tua Tagovailoa later in the show. We want to hear from you, though. 305-567-0560. The first question to Mike McDaniel has to be, why did you punt the ball? I know he was on his 25, 30-yard line. Nonetheless, you ask me this, and I think you ask a lot of coaches and a lot of people just in life in general. Would you rather have your destiny in your own hands or put it in someone else's? Mike McDaniel chose today to let the Carolina Panthers decide the destiny of the game. How did that work out? Oh, yeah, I know how it worked out. 27-24, Carolina defeats the Miami Dolphins. 305-567-0560. Got to get over to Sean. Sean in Trenton, New Jersey. Sean, go ahead.
Dan Day, love you, man. Love you. Thanks for doing this every game, especially gives us wanting to jump off the ledge Dolphin fans a place to listen again.
That's all we got right now, bro.
Yeah. Oh, man. Unfortunately, my first game of the year will be against the Bills when I come down. I'm a season ticket holder. I don't know for how long, but I'm a season ticket holder. That's the first game I'll be able to come to. But I got to say a couple things. I got to vent a little bit. I'm going to go a little different way than some of these fans on here. Some people are sitting here bitching about Ross, okay? Ross put a lot of money in his team. If they think Ross wants to be a loser, they got another thing coming.
You're right.
That's number one. I mean, he didn't spend the money he did.
And he's not selling the team. So just go ahead and let that go.
Exactly. So let's finish up. But I think we had that banner that fans put in the GoFundMe for. I think we need a new banner that says "Hire Gruden." Okay, that's what we need. Something like that. We need a tough coach to come in. I like McDaniel, but it's all the cuteness is I'm done with. I
understand.
Tua, I'm still a Tua guy. I don't know if Tua's the guy, but the quarterback tree, there ain't a lot of low-hanging fruit on it, okay? So Tua's a good enough guy to get you on a good team and get things happening. Yeah, I'm upset with that pass that he overthrew Waddle, in the final drive. But Tua's not even a top 5 problem on this team, okay? He's probably the best quarterback we've had since Marino, all right? We have problems with discipline, okay? Too many corny celebrations, like you said in the beginning of the game. That was ridiculous.
Too early.
And we got a toughness problem.
Yeah,
we got a toughness problem.
Big toughness problem.
And then one other thing is, how the heck do you get an illegal formation penalty on a kick?
On a kickoff.
How does that happen?
I was on a kickoff.
Yeah, how does that happen? I mean,
it's called bad
coaching
coaching and discipline. That's what it's called.
Yes. Yep. I hear you. Thanks, Dane.
I appreciate that. Let's go back to the phone lines. 305-567-0560. We're all over the map. We got Grant in H-Town right now. Grant, what's going on?
Hey, Dan Day. Sure appreciate you being my weekend psychiatrist.
I appreciate you helping me out, too. We walk each other back from the ledge, bro.
Oh, my gosh. I tell you, so many of the callers have said exactly how I feel. I lost my ever-loving mind when we punted that ball.
But
That's a stupid give-up.
Grant, in coaching and in life, would you rather have your destiny in your own hands or someone else is having your destiny in their hands?
100%. With the way we've been playing, you go for everything. Yeah. And on top of that, you still have 3 timeouts. Even if it doesn't work out, the score, you just keep them out of the end zone. You can still win that game.
I told that, Grant, that's exactly what would have happened. I guarantee if they didn't convert on 4th, they'd have ran the ball right up the gut 3 times. We'd have called 3 timeouts. They'd have kicked a field goal. We'd have been down by 6 with about, 45 seconds left. That's way better than what happened. And I know Jack Jones, he had the penalty, but still, you let them have destiny in their hands, and let's just be honest, he made a terrible decision. Terrible decision.
It was a bad decision. They're going to talk about it. Joe Rose is going to hate it. And on top of that, you had all these guys on this team that can catch passes. You can spread them all out. You can be throwing 10 yards to the sideline, and McDaniel does 3 of the stupidest calls that go 2 yards in the last minute and a half.
And don't forget, Darren Waller was a baller that disappeared in the second half. Why did we not make
100%.
more of an effort to get the ball to him?
They had no answer for him.
Joe Rose might land the plane today and come straight into work. You might turn the radio on at 4 a.m. this morning, and Joe might be on, because I don't think Joe can hold it back any longer.
I don't know how he flies on the same plane with some of those guys. It's something. But anyway, I appreciate the show, and thanks for letting me vent.
Hey, thank you for being with us right there. That is absolutely what we do here. We are Game Day Uncensored. That means we don't hold back. We are not beholden to anyone. I don't get texts, and I don't text back and forth to Dolphins brass or anybody with the Dolphins. I don't even know anybody with the Dolphins. So I'm not scared. I'm not scared my press pass might get taken away. I'm here with you, the people, and keeping it real. Look, Dolphins, you don't want us coming on and saying you made some bad decisions today. You got run over by Rico Dowdle. You were celebrating too much, a little too early. You forgot to give the ball to Darren Waller in the second half. You want us to stop saying that? Start doing things that make us be positive. I'm the first person that wants to come on here and say, up 17-0, Darren Waller, comeback player of the year, Tua Tagovailoa, this team is 2-3. We still got a chance. I'm the first person that wants to do that. Dolphins, make me do that. Like the old Hurricanes used to say, you don't want us running up the score? Stop us. I'm frustrated, but I'm scared. Frustrated for what they did today, but scared that there's a deeper problem, fundamental problems with this team. It starts with the toughness, and it circles all the way around. Once again, I go back. Drew Brees, Sean Payton, minute 59, down by three timeouts. They would have to start running the ball as they got close to the goal line so they didn't give the other team the ball back with enough time. We went 3 and out, and our star quarterback overthrew our star receiver by a mile. That's a fundamental problem. Take some more phone calls, 305-567-0560. But first, we'll go to break. Hold tight. Trevor Harris, Dan Day. This is Game Day Uncensored postgame on 104.3 FM WQAM.
Scott Graham here from Westwood One. Coming up on
on WQAM FM and HD1 Miramar, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and WQAM AM Miami, an Odyssey sports station.
Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
The game is ended, and now we begin. It's Game Day Uncensored, Postgame edition. Real talk, real reaction, real opinions for real Miami football fans on FM 104.3 WQAM, Miami sports leader.
So many telling stats that we can get into, but just real quick, want to touch on this. The Dolphins up 17-0, and they finished the game with 19 total yards. You would think if you're up 17-0, you try to just go ahead and put away the game, methodical run, control the ball. But instead, it's the team that was down 17-0, the Carolina Panthers, that went to the ground game to mount a comeback. And by the way, the Dolphins, who at first were very good on third down, did not convert on a third down in the second half, and none worse than the one within the last 2 minutes. 305-567-0560. Want to hear from you. Let's go to JP in Boca. JP in Boca. Go ahead. I'm sorry. How's it going, bro? JP, are you there? Hold tight, JP. I think we're having some issues. JP, I'm sorry about that. Go ahead. All right, maybe not. Whoop. I blocked JP. JP,
Yes,
I'm sorry. Go
How
ahead
you
now.
doing?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to block you, man. I didn't mean to block you like Jonas Avianaya didn't do today. Go ahead.
Well, I had a feeling you still had me on, so I didn't want to make dead air. So I just went with my ideas. But thank you for taking my call. I really appreciate it. I appreciate everything you do. I'm a longtime Dolphin fan, about 40 years. I had 13 season tickets. I canceled them all last season.
Whoa.
I saw the writing on the wall for a long time. I mean, I played football in Miami all my life growing up. So I've seen how, strategies and how you build teams and things like that, just from Pee Wee ball and just going up. And, it's just that type of knowledge. When you see things that professionals are doing that shouldn't be doing, it kind of rings a bell.
Okay,
JP, the
JP,
casual fan might not see it.
What are some of the things that you saw that got you turned off with the Miami Dolphins?
Well, number one, we have to win in the cold weather. And how do you win in the cold weather? You got to have big boys in the front, in the paint. You got to be able to run the ball. You got to be able to do smash mouth football. You got to be able to tire out the defenses. If you're not doing that and you're just doing little, flare routes to the left, little swing pass to the right, you're never going upfield, never really pounding the rock. I mean, you have A-Chain that's doing amazing, but still, we're not built for that. All we do is, flash, cover up, smoke, but nothing that's real. And what's real is the line. If you don't have a line, you can't give Tua time to pass. Now, Tua was a bad decision. We had Love, we had Hurts, we had Herbert to pick, and we didn't take none of them. We took a guy that was injured, a guy that was short, a guy that might make it. I don't know if somebody was like his best friend or whatnot and wanted to put him on the team, but that was a crazy business decision, especially for so much money. But, the decision, it starts all the way from the top to the bottom. I mean, with the coach today, with the decisions he made, we have all the momentum. We're up 17 points. The season's on the line here. We know we can't lose. We're playing against probably one of the worst teams in the NFL. You would think the best offensive mind would be able to manufacture some type of offensive game plan on the fly where, okay, let's run the ball. Let's do some misdirection. They're going to be blitzing. We already know they're going to be trying to stop the run. So let's do some play action, but no, 19 yards. You said it yourself, 19 yards after that happened. How do you get 19 yards? So for me, this just shows completely who the Dolphins are, who the coach is. This just shows who Greer, the soup that Greer made for us, the decisions that they made for us. You can't really blame too much on the owner. I mean, you can, okay, the guy doesn't know everything. Okay, the guy doesn't know who's a good, general manager. But the guy is always dropping money on everybody.
Yeah, he's open
and look
the
how
wallet.
look how they're always getting veterans, injured veterans that they always hope that they could turn into another, Barry Sanders, or this guy could turn into another, Jim Kelly or something. Like they're always hoping and dreaming for players to become something, and it's always failure. So you can't be building a house with like good parts, bad parts, good parts, bad parts. Eventually the bad parts are going to fail because they're going to fail, and all the good parts that you had while you keep preparing the bad parts, your good parts start to become bad. So the good decisions that we even made, those guys are getting old, those guys are getting injured. So our window is shot. We had our chance. We had everything. We had all the draft picks. We had all the money. We had the best chance in the world. Go back 3-4 years. It's not that far back. You don't even have to be a Dolphin fan so far back to remember that once upon a time we had 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, 2 third-round picks. The next year we had 2 first-round picks, another 2 second-round picks. It was crazy. I mean, I might be off a little bit there, but we had all the picks in the world. We had all the money in the bank. And what did Greer do? He selected this guy, selected that guy. He took these tomatoes, he took this chicken, he took these potatoes. It's terrible. It's just terrible. And after today, what happened today, everybody should be fired. And the reason why Ross doesn't want to do anything drastic is because for him, it's all about business. For him, it's all about the show.
JP, I'll tell you this, and I thought about this the other day. Chris Greer, Stephen Ross, they've tried everything. They tried the tank thing. Didn't really work. They tried the draft thing. Didn't really work. They tried the spend as much as you possibly can thing. Didn't really work. They tried the star quarterback, star wide receiver, fastest show on turf thing. Didn't really work. This year, they've tried the leadership thing and the let's get Trevor in the trenches and let's get some big boys. Didn't really work. Starting to see a pattern. So when people say they need to clean house, need to fire everybody, they've tried everything. Didn't really work. Comes a time. I understand people that call up like JP saying, fire them all. We'll figure something else out. I understand that thinking. What are you thinking? 305-567-0560. Charles in Marlboro, Maryland. Charles, greetings. Hey, Charles. Go ahead, Charles, in Maryland.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, man. Go ahead.
How you doing?
I'm all right.
Hey, good. Thanks for taking my call.
Thanks for having me.
Man, I just want to say, and you can take this with you, Dan. The Miami Dolphins are like Charlie Brown in Thanksgiving when Lucy holds the football down and he goes to kick it every time and she pulls it away from him. And every year he falls for the same thing. And we the Charlie Brown of the NFL. And Tua and McDaniels, they cut from the same tree. You get on there on them interviews, and do you really understand what they're saying? Because they don't answer the question. He says everything but what they're talking about.
It's a great analogy right there.
Said,
great analogy.
Yeah,
we are the Charlie Brown. We keep kicking at that ball. We keep going for it. We should know better. Every year we're hanging on to that hope.
Every year, man. You know what I'm saying?
I had hope today with a minute 59 that Tua would drive us down the field and we'd win the game.
I'm glad you did, because I thought we're gonna find a way to lose. We bet like this team find a way to lose, and I said 17-0. I said no. It's like you said, all that pre-celebration, and we got 3 more quarters to play.
Yeah, that was scary. Now in hindsight, that was tough,
man. So man, but all y'all brought up some good points, and
all right, so the phone line's cutting out, but yeah, brings up a good point. I am the Charlie Brown. Lucy keeps putting that ball down. I keep kicking it. Like I said, with a minute 59, I had all the confidence in the world that Tua was going to shut everyone up. I told Trevor Harris, I have a narrative that I'm going with. I was ready to say Tua has earned his money. This is the changing point of the season. Got the ball, came unclutch, scored the touchdown. Jalen Waddle's proven that he's our number one. Mike McDaniel's doing a great job coaching this year, finding ways to win. This is one of those moments that changes your season. Instead, it was the opposite way. This is one of those moments that possibly could have changed our season, and it came down to bad coaching, bad play, bad everything. 305-567-0560. Going to go to Carl in Miami Gardens. Carl, go ahead.
Hey, what's going on, man? Appreciate you having me on your show.
Thanks for coming on.
Hey, man, let me tell y'all something, right?
Tell me.
Every team should be the reflection of their coach. Look at Mike McDaniel. Does it look like he ever got into a real street fight, a hood fight in his life? Does he look like somebody that somebody said, hey, Mike looking for you? Would you say, oh, my goodness, Mike is somebody. He's everybody's friend. We need a coach that, like Nick Fangio, that demeanor. Listen, the Dolphins are soft as bathwater.
You're right.
Because I'm gonna tell you something, right? For the longest, this team has been disrespecting Jalen Waddle too long. Before we had a Tyreek Hill, we had Jalen Waddle who could not be stopped. The other team knew that's all we had, and they still couldn't stop him. This now that Tyreek's gone down, now it's gonna put, the real emphasis on Jalen Waddle. But at the same time, you have to understand, and I'm gonna go to something else with the defense. When we got Christian Wilkins, everybody was screaming bust. In his first year, he was doing basically nothing. He was looking like, why do we pick him? Kenneth Grant and these guys that we picked, these guys are going to be superstars. Y'all watch what I tell you. You know why? They're getting their licks on the fly. And what's going on right now, they're being coached wrong. You understand me? They are being coached totally wrong right now. You know what I mean? You're not. Look, Anthony Weaver, he got his scheme going. But see, when your backs are not there, I think we might have the lightest linebackers in the league. And it's like, I mean, come on, man. You have our offensive line. Do you fans understand that this boy, Jonas Savaiinai, is playing out of position? And that's what the Dolphins have a problem.
He's a rookie.
Yeah. The Dolphins have a problem with getting players and putting them elsewhere. That's our problem. When other teams get players, they place them where they drafted them from. You know what I mean? I'm tired of getting, a tackle that can also play center. No. I've never seen Godzilla in a movie be King Kong. Godzilla was always Godzilla.
I understand, Carl. I understand.
Our team don't respect the coaching staff, man. They laugh and they put on that phony persona, but they don't trust this coaching staff. They don't. You know what I mean? So I'm challenging all the fans. This next home game we have, no show. I'm challenging y'all because we got to stop making them believe that we are right with the bull crap that they're putting. Because all the people go to work 9 to 5. Them tickets are expensive, and that's what they're going to parade in front of us. That's disrespect. I'm challenging y'all fans. If you're a real Dolphin fan, stay home.
Carl, letting you know right now, that's true. I've said it before. What's going to get Mike McDaniel and Chris Greer fired is not their coaching, not their management style. It's going to be when no one shows up. And Stephen Ross looks out there and says, where is everybody? And we're not selling and we're not making money. Then he's going to say, all right, the message is clear. That is what's going to get him fired. And I know that's why a lot of Dolphins fans don't want to go to the game. I'm ride or die with the Dolphins. But then again, I'm not spending thousands of dollars every week to bring my family and friends to Dolphins games every other week or so. You know what I mean? I understand the frustration. And I understand at this point after that game, what you saw, whatever you choose to do with your Dolphin fandom, it's your business. I'm always ride or die, but I understand where it's coming from. One more time back to the phone lines before we go to break. 305-567-0560 is the number to call as we go out to Gary in Miami Gardens. Gary, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
You sound very calm, Gary. I'm happy that you're at least got a little zen in your life after that game.
That's because I knew it was going to happen. Years ago, I was in Texas when this draft came up, and there was no reason for us not to take Herbert. For the mere fact we had Dan Marino as our Hall of Fame quarterback, and Herbert could run 4.5. He's 6'6". He could throw the ball 70 yards down the field at a flick of a wrist. And then you take a 6-foot quarterback who's literally right-handed but throws left-handed.
They did make mention
that
he
can't run. He can't throw the deep ball. And then you go and draft and trade for receivers that are fast, that you can't get the ball to them down the field. That's number one. Mr. Ross did this because Tua was a household name, and he was looking at the fact that he could make more money selling jerseys and stuff with Tua's brand name and not Herbert, which was foolish. Then you draft Jason Phillips, who was a defensive end, and you make him turn him into an outside linebacker when the young man need to have his hands in the dirt. Now, you've got some young defensive linemen here, and you're playing a 3-4. Your linebackers are not that fast. They're not closing in on the gaps, okay? And our defensive linemen are being double-teamed. Most times, 2 at a time would be double-teamed. And a tight end or whatever is going in there blocking the linebacker, or the linebackers are missing the hole, and they're running down the field free 50 yards, and it's ridiculous. We need to go to a 4-3 because this 3-4 is not working, and you need to get rid of those cornerbacks. Douglas is too slow and too old, and Jones is literally ridiculous.
They
And
have
so
nobody.
when
They
these
have nobody
youngsters
else
get
though.
healthy,
That's the thing. I'm scared they can't cut Jack Jones because he's the best thing they got. Believe it or not. Remember,
well, when some of these other youngsters get healthy and they come back, get rid of these guys because
I don't blame
it's
you.
ridiculous.
I don't blame
And if you're going to draft, you draft to need. And I agree with the gentleman who said that we put players out of position, put them where their strong suit is, and draft big. That's why the Hurricanes are doing better. The man is doing it at the line of scrimmage. The line, offensive and defensive lines, is the cornerstone of any team. And that's what we need to be doing. And then we don't need receivers. We don't need running backs at this point in time.
I understand what you're saying. In defense of the Dolphins, I will say this. Number one, at one point in this country, Tua Tagovailoa was the number one projected draft pick. I will give him this. He got injured. He broke his hip. Therefore, maybe the tank job for Tua should have maybe changed to Justin Herbert. Also, draft big. They did draft big this past draft. They got as many 300-pound guys like Kenneth Grant that they possibly could, Jonas Savianaya, but they're rookies. And this is the thing about rookies. A lot of the time, you have to have patience, especially on the line. Mark Schlereth, once again, I thought he did a fantastic job. I thought the whole team did a fantastic job today on the TV call for Fox. He said, these guys, it's not like college anymore. You're playing the best of the best, and you have to learn on the fly how to play the game. They can coach you up a lot, but you're going to have to be patient. And right now, I saw Jonas Savianaya early in the game get worked. And Kenneth Grant, they ran right at him all day. It's going to take, there's a learning curve. You got to be patient at 1-4. That's a tough thing to say. One more segment of phone calls. We're going to take a break, come back, and take one more segment of phone calls. We still got to hear from Tua Tagovailoa. Atone for your sins. And Mike McDaniel, you atone for your sins too. Plus, we got to get to our players of the game, offensive player of the game, drive of the game, all that good stuff. Still to come. We're going till 7:30 till we get you to the Sunday night football game. Trevor Harris along with me. I am Dan Day. You are listening to Game Day Uncensored postgame on 104.3 FM WQAM.
WQAM broadcasting live.
your favorite South Florida teams. We've got them. Catch us on FM 1043 or listen to WQAM on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps. Don't miss a thing.
Now, let's get back to the Game Day Uncensored postgame show on FM 1043 WQAM, Miami's sports leader.
We have another hour here on Game Day Uncensored. Talk about the team that was up 17-0, decided not to lean on their running game. Also, a team that decided to punt when they only had about 75 seconds left in the game, although they did have 3 timeouts. I want to hear from you. 305-567-0560 is the number to call. Let's go back to the phone lines. We have Jackson in South Carolina. Jackson, go ahead.
What's up, guys? How are you guys doing today?
Jackson, break it down. What you got?
So, I'm just really, shocked about this because, last year we were all upset at the last game where we lost against the Jets. Our season was over. We couldn't really make anything, change or anything. But now we rebuilt this whole entire season, right?
Mm-hmm.
We got Nick Westbrook-Akine, and we didn't even use him at all today.
I forgot he was on the team.
We didn't use him at all.
I forgot he was on the team.
Exactly. And now it's all crazy, and we have Darren Waller, who's a stud now. That guy came out. We got a good deal on that, and that really helped us. But now when you think it, what happened when the 2023 season, right? We were so good. We went 5-1, right? And when the bye week hit us, when they put us on hard knocks, my bad. Everything just went downhill from that. Hard knocks. That really messed us up because right now, what do we look like? We look like trash. We don't look anything. We look like we're not the best team out there. We don't look like we're the 2023 Dolphins. All right. And now we lost to a Panthers team who has tall receivers because the Panthers team was smart. They drafted tall receivers and got free agents that were tall receivers. And that's smart because you need tall receivers to get yards and they can catch. The problem is we gave Tua 6 years, right? 6 years. 6 years was a good deal. But look at Tua now. What's happened over the years?
He's gotten worse.
He's not using his hips more. He's just throwing the ball to his receivers the wrong way, lazy. And he has more picks than he throws touchdowns this season. And I'm shocked. Maybe next year we can make some changes, but let me give you something. What were the 3? These are the 3 busts this year, all right? The number 1 bust we got was Kenneth Grant. He's a good defensive lineman, came out of Michigan. They have the best D lines in the history of sports. And he doesn't look that great. And Jack Jones is he's not the best cornerback in the league.
That's a very, 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 very nice statement about Jack Jones that you made. That's very kind.
Yeah, he's not the best, but he's okay. I mean, plus what last call, he's you said he's only a free agent. We traded for him and he's only that's our only guy. The only guys we have is just Rasul Douglas and Jack Jones. There's no really else because that Tater Kohu injury, that really messed up everything.
Storm Duck.
And Storm Duck too, yes. Because I just in shock because what does Chris Greer and Mike McDaniel thinking right now? They should say, we need to fix some things about the cornerback position a little bit. We need to fix some stuff on the defense a little bit more. Same with Anthony Weaver. Weaver, he's a good coordinator, right? But he's playing like not the best defense in the whole entire.
He doesn't have a lot on that defense. That is one thing for sure. But look, we went to the bargain bin to get these cornerbacks. You're going to get what you pay for. It's really tough right now. And I understand Anthony Weaver is handcuffed, but some of the things that he could have done today, maybe a little stronger up front in the box and not just get run to the right by Rico Dowdle. 305-567-0560. Back to the phone lines. We have Brandon over there in Fort Lauderdale. Brandon, what's happening?
Gameday, you're the best. First, congrats on your squad getting off the schneid today.
Oh yeah, the Saints actually got a win. Good thing for the New York Giants.
All right. A couple quick things I want to touch on. Jalen Waddle had 110 yards receiving in this game.
He stepped up.
Do you know how many receiving yards the Dolphins receivers had total in this game?
I can tell you exactly, but I'm guessing 150.
110. The receivers, not the tight end.
Oh, okay.
Not the running back.
I'm talking about passing yards. Okay, so yeah.
Jalen Waddle was the only player to have positive receiving yards in the game as a receiver.
Because we know Darren Waller had a great first half.
Well, that's another thing. Darren Waller had a great first half. Did he even play in the second half? Was he on the field?
You might want to target him a little bit more, guys.
I don't understand. What a tremendous first half. All of a sudden, second half, we don't look at him one way. Not once the entire second. Did he even get a target in the second half?
I think he did get one target, and it was, I hate to pile on Tua, but it was off. It was very off.
All right. Well, it's okay to pile on Tua, especially after that throw at the end of the game to Waddle.
Hey, he's making $51 million a year. So, yeah, I understand where you're coming from, saying I can pile on.
And real quick, the punt, with the whole punt thing, you had somebody call in earlier, maybe like an hour ago, who said that there's only been one other team in history who's punted or something
with like 75 seconds left in a game. Yeah.
I think you might need a fact check on that. That sounds hard to believe, but the idea of punting there isn't the dumbest thing I've ever seen, except when you've given up 200 yards on the ground to Rico Dowdle.
It
just doesn't to punt there makes no sense. Even if you don't get it, all right, you give up 3,
right?
You get the ball back. Use your timeouts, get the ball back down 6. You got to go the length of the field either way. It just doesn't make sense to punt the ball there.
Brandon, I'm 100% with you right there. I did not understand that call. And like you said, not the worst of the worst, but pretty much what's most going to happen is they're going to run the ball right up the gut 3 times in a row, line up a kick. You call your timeouts. They make the field goal. You're down by 6. You get the ball back. At least you have the ball in your hands at the end of the game instead of kicking it away to them and hoping that you could stop them and then punt. And of course, Jack Jones with the penalty. Rough time for Jack Jones. The only way I see Jack Jones keeping his job is because there's really just nobody left in that secondary that can do anything. Although he didn't make a strong case for being one of the guys that can do anything in that secondary. 305-567. I talked myself out of that one a couple times. 305-567-0560. Let's go back to the phone lines. We have got Richie in Coral Springs. Richie, what's happening? Richie. You blocked him again.
Hello?
I got you, brother. Go ahead.
So I gave up my season tickets a long time ago. You know, I just got tired of losing, no matter who the coach was. You know, if you look at this body of work of this team and this roster, how it's been constructed, Chris Greer, number one, loves signing injured players. Now, Sabianaya, the kid played right guard his whole college career. So what do?
Put him at left guard.
Daniels from so we take Daniels from Pittsburgh, coming off an Achilles injury. The guy plays 2 snaps, he's hurt. You know, Austin Jackson started at left tackle, then left guard, then right guard. Now he's a right tackle who can't stay healthy. If you look, we had Cam Smith, that was Ignomi 2.0. You know, if you look at the things Chris Greer has done and the coaching staff that they have, it just looks like either the players are being coached wrong or putting in the wrong positions or playing a scheme that they can't play. Maybe they're playing in the wrong scheme. But McDaniel and the whole Tuna Tagovailoa, enough already. Because this guy has had multiple chances as a top-paid quarterback to bring us back on a last-minute drive to win a game, and he's failed at every single opportunity, okay? And last year, Chris Greer came out and criticized the media and the fans, saying we were more worried about the offensive line than they were. It was trash last year. This year he came out before the season started and saying, you guys are more worried about the cornerbacks than we are. You know, he messed up this whole Jalen Ramsey thing where the guy literally waited for his roster bonus to kick in. Then he wanted out. You know, he didn't do it before. So how did that get so out of hand to where the guy wanted out of here? There's no discipline on this team. There's absolutely no toughness on this team. And I'm sick of watching Chubb and Phillips and Chop Robinson drop into coverage when their job is to get to the passer.
Hey, Richie, I can let you in on a little secret on why Jalen Ramsey wanted out of here in Miami.
What? Go ahead.
You can say that he didn't exactly jive with someone who told him what to do. And
exactly.
You can guess who the person that was supposedly telling him what to do. He didn't like it and didn't respect what this person and what this team was trying to do.
Right. I get it.
I'm trying to be as cryptic as possible without being extremely cryptic and also extremely obvious. But yeah, didn't get along with everybody in the organization. Let's just put it that way.
Right.
Yeah. So it's tough like that, man. Oh man. It's a tough situation. 305-567-056. You try to get a couple more calls in before we have to get to some of our players of the game and drive of the game. Let's right now go to TJ. You're in Carolina. You're either really happy or really upset. Let me know.
I am not in Carolina.
Oh.
I don't know where you got that. But
You're in the car.
I'm in the car.
Okay.
Yes, in the car.
Well,
car, Carolina. They're spelled the same.
When Carolina owns you and you see car, you just figure it's Carolina, man. You guys got us. You got us. Go ahead.
No worries, Dan. Dan, first off, I appreciate, you burning the incense and passing around the gummies to get everybody off the cliff. And, it's good therapy. It's a therapy session.
It really is.
In fact, you should just call it, from Sundays now on, it should be the Dan Day therapy session because, you just want to make sure, let everyone know it's okay. We know we stink. Just live with it, and we'll move on each day with something new, and we'll pick the positives out.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Dan,
Dan,
there aren't too many of those. Right? Not too many of those.
Darren Waller.
Yeah,
that's a positive.
As a fan, listen, as a 58-year-old fan, yes, I went to games during the undefeated season. Yes, I'm a history fan. Was there, met Dan Marino as a kid, all that stuff. Come on. The tradition is lost with this team on excellence. And that goes right to the top, my friend, right to Stephen Ross, right to the coach that they hired. We have been hiring second-rate coaches and assistants since this man took this team over.
I can't argue with that.
Which coach?
They did try to get Sean Payton illegally.
Right. Oh, okay.
Twice.
Of course, we're going to go after somebody good and do it illegally. It's like that. It's leadership, man. Chris Greer, I'm not gonna pile on just him. Let's go. Who was before him? The guy for the Jets who's on ESPN. Get up, and then let's not forget your boy Jeff Ireland.
Yeah.
This is all stemming from the exact hiring of the worst, most unqualified front office, and they, of course, hire unqualified coaches. They find these guys that are, he's the next up and comer. He's the next up and comer. Look, no offense. I'd run Flores back. At least he has some experience now. It's crazy to say that, but it just seems like we find the least thing that possible, and then we say, Chris, go get a superstar for us because, we need to sell jerseys, we need to sell tickets, and we need to come up with a hype front that is going to be a failure.
TJ's absolutely right about that. We say it all the time. What do good teams, good organizations, what do good businesses do? They have good leadership. They have good management. They have good culture. Maybe that's the problem with this team. And also, that's one of the things that if you're a lesser team in the league, as far as tradition-wise and stuff, sometimes you do have to reach. The New Orleans Saints, I'll go back to them, they had to reach a little bit on Sean Payton, an offensive coordinator from the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys, an up-and-comer, because they just didn't have that type of pedigree. There was a time in this world when the Dolphins organization was almost a platinum standard, the only organization that has an undefeated season, Super Bowls, year after year, AFC Championship games, Super Bowls, one of the greatest coaches of all time, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Where has that gone? Maybe it did come with management. 305-567-0560. Going out to Phoenix, Arizona. Going to talk to Will. Will, what's going on?
Man, where do we start?
Come on.
First of all, number 23, Jones, his butt needs to be cut tomorrow. There is no way in hell that guy is on any NFL team or CFL team.
You know how many pass interferences he could have been called for today? He even got away with a couple of them.
Dude, I'm like throwing him all game. Why even run the ball? It's an automatic touchdown or interference.
No, Will, I'll tell you why you run the ball, because you couldn't stop them when they ran it to the right. 250 yards, 199 yards for Rico Dowdle. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, we don't have linebackers. We have linebackers that look like safeties. They're undersized. They're third string on any other team in the NFL. We have not drafted a linebacker in the longest time in Miami since we had Zach Thomas. And when we had him, we had a shell defense because they went around him. We don't have those guys. If you look, the greatest part, you hear Omar Kelly, and I hope he's listening. Oh, when you look at Tua's numbers, he's always the second percentage passer in the league.
He said it this morning. Hold up.
2-yard passes.
He said it this morning. The second most efficient and completion percentage passer of all time. Sure didn't look it on the last 3 plays of the offensive game.
Well, he's throwing an H-hand every damn play for 2 yards because he can't get it downfield. Waddle is open. He is burning these guys. He barely got that bomb there. He can't make the throws, and we have no offense. You have a tight end that had almost 80 yards in the first half, and you're telling me you can't script a 5-yard pass to him during the game?
No, we're too busy.
What the hell is McDaniels doing?
No, we're too busy throwing to Alec Ingold and Tanner Connor and all those guys. No, get those guys in space. Guys.
Alec Ingold is done. That guy has done nothing for us. They should have drafted Scadaboo, and we would have had a real fullback.
Ooh.
We got it. It's like this. You got the same problems, same coaches, same players, same problems. You look at the defensive line. Like I said, they're double teaming all those guys. The linebackers are not even plugging the holes. All they got to do is sit there and wait. They just run and run. And then they had times where the linebacker always had to run full speed to the left to catch a receiver, full speed, playing 10 yards off him. Weaver, I'm telling you right now, people, he sucks too. Because you know what? That scheme was garbage. You're playing 20 yards. I don't care how sorry you are. If you're that bad, I'm blitzing every down because we're going to get beat anyways, and we're bringing a house to get pressure on you. I don't care. But you know what? Same guys, same problems. Ross sucks. He's in New York in his penthouse right now thinking about, well, I take it hardball because I don't want to be the one to steal from Michigan. Stupidest thing I ever heard in my life. Like, that team is cursed. It's buried on burial ground. There's something wrong with it. Go Canes. The hell with them.
Will, real quick before you go, have you ever had pizza in Phoenix at the place called The Parlor?
Yes, very good.
Man, that place is dope, man. I just want to put some positivity out in the world, man. The Parlor had pizza there. It was dope.
Well, you should get your maybe license for psychology on Sundays because we have no one to talk to. My wife watches me yell at the TV with no one in the room. I'm just sitting there like, I am not a coach making $10 million a year, but I can draw a 5-yard down and out for that tight end Waller to get open. But you know what? We'll throw to H-Chan on first down to the left for 2 yards. Then we'll throw to Washington to the right for 2 yards lost. And you know what? Then Tua will get sacked every third down. It's like, dude, how the hell do you guys have jobs?
It's tough right there, Will. I understand. And also, I hate to keep bringing up Nick Saban because his time here in Miami wasn't very good. Nonetheless, he said, when big times come up, I don't call plays, I call players. Maybe in the second half, you should have called a couple players and not a couple plays, Mike McDaniel. Just saying. Got 2 more phone calls we're going to get to before we go to break. 305-567-0560 is the number to call. Let's go to Kimberly in Tamarack. Kimberly, what's on your mind?
Hi, good afternoon. I hope you're doing well.
Physically?
I agree with a lot of your callers. I have been a Dolphin fan for 40 years. Since I was in high school in 1983. I'm now 57. I think we need a new coach, a new GM, and Ross needs to sell the team and bring back a family like the Robbie family. And also, our Dolphin players talk too much. Tua, when he made that comment against Cam Newton, talking about Cam Newton never played in that position. Excuse me.
He won an
Cam
MVP.
Newton took his team to the Super Bowl.
You're right.
At the Charlotte Panthers.
He won an MVP
and was
too.
MVP.
Yeah, you're right.
Maybe he needs to call Cam Newton and ask some questions about how to be an MVP with Super Bowl winning quarterback too. Really? I'm going to hang out to tell me what you think.
I like that. Kimberly brings up a great point. And Trevor, I'd be the first person. If I could coordinate Tua talking to Cam Newton, I would love to be the mediator of that one, because he didn't say that Cam Newton wasn't a quarterback. He basically said some guys, it's easier for them to talk about being quarterback with the clicker in their hand than to actually play quarterback. I thought that was a misplaced comment.
That was an awful comment by Tua. It's so funny now.
Cam Newton
backfired on
won
him.
an MVP, and he went to a Super Bowl. So, yeah.
Blew out a few good teams on that playoff run, too,
Yeah,
anyways.
this is the thing. The Dolphins understand that Tua has to talk, but sometimes I think they just sit there and go.
Does he get media training, you think? I don't think he's gotten good one.
They need you. 305-567-0560. Got one more caller we're going to take tonight for some therapy. It is Will in Opelika. Will, go ahead.
Hey, what's going on, Dan? Thank you for everything you do, man. I'm gonna be very quick. I'm 44 years old and following the team for 30 years now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a coach. I'm not going to tell people, run this play, whatever. I'm going to say one thing.
Okay.
I'm a former Marine, right? In the Marine Corps, there is no discipline issue. You know why? Because when you mess up, they go right in your pockets. Just a guy that said it earlier, stop supporting the team until they make changes. You could get on the TV, on Twitter. They're not going to listen. Stop going to the games and spending your money on shirts and jerseys and all of that until they make the right changes. That's it. It's that simple. Us as fans, that's our voice. We could get in here and scream, whatever. They don't care. You know what they care? Empty stadium.
Mm-hmm.
The lights don't come on.
Will,
That's it.
Will, couldn't have said it better. Thank you for your phone call. Thank you for your service, by the way.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, look, Dolphins fans, you have every right to do whatever you want with your fandom. And I wouldn't blame you if you decided that if this team doesn't want to be better and put forth a little more effort, and the team is trying, don't get me wrong. They are trying to win. They're trying to do their best. But if this is what we're going to get from this team, maybe they don't need to get as much from me either. So I do understand that. But once again, I always stick with ride or die. You don't have to go to the games. You don't even have to watch the games, but they're still your team, because when they get to the top, and one day the Dolphins will get to the top. I know it seems impossible. When they get to the top, the high you're going to feel is going to be way higher than anything you've ever felt. If you abandon the team, no, you're not going to be there. So you got to be there for the dark days. You got to be there for the bright days. Right now, today was a very, very dark day. There will be brighter days ahead, including in this season. But there might need to be some changes made. We're going to take a quick break, come back. Trevor and I are going to give away our big-time offensive player of the game, player of the game, and drive of the game. That is next here on Gameday Uncensored, Postgame 104.3 FM WQAM.
now, let's get back to the Game Day Uncensored postgame show on FM 104.3 WQAM, Miami's sports leader.
I want to give a big thanks and MVP to everyone that's listening and has called in today. Our family has really responded. It was, and as upset and as frustrated as I'm scared as I am right now, I really do look forward to every post-game show because I get to spend it with you and you make it so great. So thank you so much for joining us. We really had, I didn't say have a good time. We really enjoy being with you right here on Game Day Uncensored post-game. And I just like the honesty and just true bravery, I guess we all have for this Dolphins team, and just the passion that everyone has. But it is now time to get to our offensive player of the game. Offensive player of the game, sponsored by Edmore Sawgrass Auto Mall. Trevor, you go first. Who is your offensive player of the game?
We're going to the Carolina Panthers. Rico Dowdle. He turned back the clock. He made it look like a first-round pick that Dallas Cowboys cut. He had almost 200 yards on the ground. Rico Dowdle is your player of the game.
Offensive player of the game?
Offensive player of the game for me.
Oh, offensive player of the game. I really wanted to give it before the last 2 minutes of this game. I'm not even going to lie. I was going to give it to a Tagovailoa because I thought he was locked in. I thought he was really good. I thought maybe he was so good they abandoned parts of the running game because he was so accurate and just working the game well. Offensive player of the game, sponsored by Ed Morris Sawgrass Auto Mall. I am going to give it, I mean, there's not really a lot of choices out there very much anyway. Let's go ahead and as you look around, there's just nobody other than Darren Waller. Darren Waller, a guy that I am so proud of, and I'm going to get into it in a minute, but Darren Waller, he injected life into this offense very early, made it look like it was going to be a runaway. 5 catches, 78 yards, 1 touchdown, averaging 15.6 yards per catch. And that is all in the first half because in the second half, he was not part of the game plan, apparently, it seemed like. Didn't do anything, whether it was his fault, not really, or not. Oh, now it is time to get to our player of the game. Player of the game is sponsored by JM Lexus. JM Lexus has the best team in the business, a 4.8 Google rating with over 22,000 reviews and counting. JM Lexus, West Sample Road, Moorgate. Trevor, who is your player of the game?
Xavier Legette from the Carolina Panthers. He had some great catches, got some touchdowns in 2. He looks like a fine wideout finally. So
he had a big he had the big touchdown that I thought kept him in the game. When they were down 17-0, it's 17-7. I was like, oh, whatever.
Because I remember we were talking about with Bryce Young, he has no wideout, and now he has one, looks like.
My player of the game, I'm going to give it to the obvious choice. Of course, that is Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle realizing that the season is in the balance, realizing that he has to step up in the absence of Tyreek Hill, realized that they couldn't stop him, even though they had their best cornerback on him, has 6 receptions, 110 yards, 1 touchdown, 18.3 average, and what could have been if Tua Tagovailoa would have hit him on that second down, on that last 3 and out. Jalen Waddle seemed like he was the person that was captaining this team and leading this team today. So I'm going to give him my player of the game. That is one of the guys, he and Darren Waller. And once again, I'm going to get into Darren Waller in just a second. He and Darren Waller were the 2 guys I was very proud of today for the Miami Dolphins. Can't say that about a lot of the other guys, even though they were trying. Once again, their play I was not very proud of. Finally, let's go to Drive of the Game, sponsored by Drive of the Game, sponsored by the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event. Learn more at Lexus.com. Trevor, your Drive of the Game.
Bryce Young to go for the league anyways. So Bryce Young with that game-winning drive anyways. They are a fearless team that really everyone's count out. They have their good games. They have their bad games. When they're bad, they're bad. Bryce Young looks good sometimes. He looked good today against the Miami Dolphins with that awful secondary.
He looks terrible. We can't believe Bryce Young nonetheless. My Lexus Drive of the Game is going to be that drive about kind of the beginning, not the very beginning, but kind of the beginning of the second quarter. Get the ball to Darren Waller on that 4-yard touchdown pass. They had 10:48 left in the game. Second quarter, of course, they did have some other nice sport. They, of course, they got the Devon Achane earlier, the drive that began in the first quarter, but led into the second quarter. It was a 14-play drive, 7 minutes on the clock. You thought, this Dolphins team is rolling. But I want to go to the Darren Waller. When we got up 17-0, Darren Waller catched another pass, a guy that I cannot show enough respect for. Of course, as you know, I like to follow the Raiders for the second half games that happen in later in the day. I thought Darren Waller has always been a baller. Darren Waller I also relate to because he's had his issues. Look, we all have our issues with our significant other. We all have sometimes issues with substance abuse. We all have issues sometimes with our mental health. Darren Waller has faced those demons. He has come back from retirement. He speaks openly about that, making it an open space for people that might have problems to say, okay, it is okay. Darren Waller comes back and he seems mentally, physically, emotionally strong. So I'm so proud of Darren Waller. On what was a very, very dark day, he was a bright light. And it felt so bright when we were up 17-0, when he caught that touchdown with 10:48 left in the second quarter. It was all downhill from there. 10:48 in the second quarter. I'm pretty sure we didn't convert on a third down after that. That is a recipe for disaster. Speaking of disasters, we're going to hear from Mike McDaniel and Tua Tagovailoa. Not their brightest and best days either. You might argue that. I don't think you are. Nonetheless, we're going to take a break. We're going to lead you into the New England Buffalo game. Two teams that have beaten us already this year. Surprise, surprise. Two teams that we also have on the schedule left this year. They're in our division. That's the reason why. But next, we will hear from Tua Tagovailoa. We will hear from Mike McDaniel, and we'll get you ready to hear the Patriots and the Bills. This is Game Day Uncensored postgame on 104.3 FM WQAM, Miami Sports Leader.
Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
The game is ended, and now we begin. It's Game Day Uncensored, post-game edition. Real talk, real reaction, real opinions for real Miami football fans on FM 104.3 WQAM, Miami sports leader.
With Trevor Harris, I am Dan Day, and before we get to Tua Tagovailoa and Mike McDaniel, I'm going to warn them, even though they're not listening to me, or maybe they are listening to me, I'm not down for their foolishness tonight. If they say something silly that I don't like, I am going to go in on them. They got big contracts. They've got big, long contracts. If you can dish it, you can take it. Okay? So I'm just going to warn you right now. But before we do that, we got to get into a scoreboard, get you caught up with everything that's happening in and around the NFL. Right now, the Washington Commanders and the Los Angeles Chargers. Commanders up 2010. How's Justin Herbert doing? Yeah, could have drafted him instead of Tua. Justin Herbert's doing pretty good, although they're losing 20-10. He's got 22 for 29, 167 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. How is the guy that might be better than Justin Herbert? Might be better than most quarterbacks in the league. But we didn't have a chance to draft him, so no ill will there. Jaden Daniels doing 14 for 25, 223 yards. Oh, he didn't turn the ball over. And his team's up 20-10. That's pretty good. Tua didn't have any turnovers today, though, so I guess let's look at the positive. Maybe. Detroit Lions and the Bengals. You think the quarterback makes a big difference on a team? Tua Tagovailoa, we need you to play better in the last 2 minutes. The Bengals, they just need Joe Burrow to play. They are a vastly, drastically different team without Joe Burrow, who is injured with that turf toe. The Lions, though, are a darn good team. Dan Campbell, we could have had him as a coach, too. No, I don't want to get into that right now. The Lions are whoop that trick. The Bengals 35-17. Buccaneers in a shootout. That is a game that was fun to watch. Buccaneers down the Seahawks 38-35. Cardinals Titans. Could Cam Ward get his first win as a quarterback? There's 2 minutes left in the game. Cardinals are up 21-19. The Cardinals, it's 4th and 7. Trevor, this could be the moment. Cam Ward, wouldn't that be odd that the number 1 overall pick rookie out of Miami could put together a 2-minute drive and get his first pro win while the other guy here in Miami can't get a completion on a 2-minute drive?
Who could run a better 2-minute drill? That's a better question. We'll leave it to the phone lines.
We're about to find out if Cam Ward runs a better 2-minute drill in the NFL than Tua Tagovailoa. I mean, it's a low standard, at least today.
The standard is so low.
Low standard. Jalen Waddle can probably tell you that. Earlier today, the Texans, you want to talk about quarterback making a difference? You want to talk about a team that has underperformed this year? Texans whooped, and I mean whooped, the Baltimore Ravens. Yes, Texans beat the Baltimore Ravens 44-10. 44-10. Oh, yeah, by the way, we're not the only 1-4 team in the league. Baltimore Ravens are 1-4. Oh, yeah, by the way, we're not the only 1-4 team in the league. The New Orleans Saints.
How about that?
Are now 1-4 after they defeated the New York Giants. Take that, Jackson Dart and Ole Miss. Saints beat the Giants 26-14. The Eagles, fly, Eagle, fly. Trevor's favorite team took a loss to the Broncos today.
I'll take it. They need that loss to get ready to beat up on those New York Giants Thursday night.
The Eagles have been playing with fire all year long. It's easy to see why. When you are the king, heavy is the crown. People are coming for you. They got beat today, of course, by the Broncos. The Colts, well, I mean, they remain impressive record-wise, although they've beaten up on the little kids in school. Colts beat up on the Raiders 40-6, but don't look now. The Colts are 4-1. Who would have thunk it? Colts 4-1. The Cowboys continue their roller coaster ride of a season, although today kind of knew it was going to be easy enough. They beat the Jets, the only team the Dolphins have beaten this year.
First home road win for the Cowboys in New Jersey versus the Jets since 2003, by the way.
Okay, 37-22. And earlier today, across the pond, as they like to say, the Vikings took care of the Browns and Dylan Gabriel. Vikings win with a late touchdown, 21-17. As I said, coming up, we're going to lead you in to, we're going to 7:30? We're going to 8:30. 7:30 for the pregame, right, of the game?
Sounds like it.
Yep, we are. I looked at the schedule now. I didn't look at the schedule. I'm just guessing. We're going to take you into the pregame for the Sunday night game, Bills-Patriots. Two teams that have already beaten the Dolphins and two teams that get to play the Dolphins again later on this year. It's going to be interesting to see if the Patriots have for real or if the Bills just continue to struggle with everybody but keep winning. And then tomorrow night, Monday Night Football, Kansas City Chiefs, a team that we expect, even though they've had their ups and downs, they're going to be there in the postseason. And the Jaguars, who a lot of people are saying, watch out, they might be making it to the postseason.
Liam Cohen's a great story. He's a likable head coach, or somebody say unlikable.
There you go. So that's your scoreboard. Likable or unlikable, whether you love him or you hate him. Tua Tagovailoa did not master the 2-minute drill today. He spoke with the media after the game, and I'm hoping he answered some very tough questions.
What happened that got this offense stagnant after a hot start?
I think as we went in and we were trying to get things going in the second half, we had some penalties that on some plays to where we could get back into our flow that got called back, and then as we were trying to run the ball, to open some things up, we just weren't executing in that aspect of it. And so when you try to do what you say you're going to come out and do and it's not working, now we got to adjust. And so I think that was the process for us as we were trying to maneuver through what we wanted to do then as the Panthers were scoring.
This is a tough loss.
Yep.
When you capsulized it, you came out on fire, moving the ball, 5 punts, then you get a touchdown. How do you wrap your arms around that type of a football game?
I think you got to look at it for what it is. You got to look at it from the lens of your side of the ball first before you can look at the team in general. I know the defense doesn't want to give up those points. Special teams, I know they want to be better with the penalties. And then offense, having those opportunities to go down and score and having the amount of 3 and outs that we had when we had those opportunities from our defense, that's why it's a team sport. When they give us that opportunity, we got to capitalize. And when we don't, it's the NFL, and you see what can happen.
So you came out and Darren Waller, big plays, getting the tight end down the middle of the field, and things were clicking. And then all of a sudden, the middle of the field kind of closed down.
Mm-hmm.
What were they able to do to take that away?
I think what they were doing was within their quarters, they were just stacking that middle. And then they were getting some depth as well with their linebackers, allowing for us not to have those plays. Or if we were allowed to, it would have to be a perfect ball. And a certain person would have to be in those areas as well, a bigger body for a catch like that. But they were getting some depth, and we just had to check it down.
And so the running game wasn't what it's been in the last couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Was it something they did? Was it schematics, or was it just people not getting their blocks, or people letting guys off? I mean, you're right in the middle of it, so.
For sure. I think it's one of those where, as we're looking at the iPad, hard to gauge, hard to tell. You can ask the question to the lineman. You can ask the question to the running back, what he's seen. But got to watch the film, and the film will tell the truth for what we did, what we need to do better, and how we can move forward from a performance like that.
So you're 1-4. You got the Chargers coming. This game is going to be hard to digest, hard to get over.
Yep.
Can you get ready and be able to give enough effort next Sunday on what's going to be a bad week?
Oh, 100%. 100%. I am 100% showing up, getting myself ready, getting the guys that are going to be in the game as ready as possible for us to give us a chance to go out there, score, do what we need to do to help us win a ball game.
What are your feelings toward this season right now as it stands at 1-4?
Tough. It's tough. No one wants to start the season 1-4. It's not like our team goes out there and we want to give up this, or we want to not convert our third downs in the second half. There's just so many things that go into it, and we got to figure this out. And we got to figure this out now. This feeling sucks. It's not a good feeling.
Anything else? Early on, what was working with Waddle, Waller, when you guys were flowing on offense?
Well, when we were flowing, we got to get a gauge on what they wanted to do defensively. And then second half, they made some really good halftime adjustments with what they wanted to do on third down versus us, and kind of keeping us off the field and not converting.
So I'm sorry if you've already been asked this.
You good?
But do you feel
You all right?
Yeah, I appreciate you.
What happened?
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, okay, got you. Perfect. No, you're good, brother. Yeah. Hey, understandable.
But did it feel like there's a sense of like maybe getting too comfortable there after that 17-0 run to start the game?
I would say I didn't sense that feel from the guys. But we'll look at the film and we'll see and get a better gauge on, we can say one thing, but is our play doing the other? So we'll look at that, we'll talk about that, and we'll address it.
We got to fix this, and we got to fix this now, is what Tua Tagovailoa said, because this feeling sucks. Yes, it sucks for all of us, Tua. Fix it. An interesting thing, he talked a lot about how the not Jacksonville Jaguars, I'm so sorry, I give them too much credit, how the Carolina Panthers made such great adjustments at halftime. It seems like we did the opposite, made no adjustments whatsoever, especially to one Rico Dowdle, who ran the ball for 199 yards. Tua was not asked the question, what happened to that pass to Jalen Waddle on the second down of the last offensive series of the game? I guess he would have just said it got away from me. Okay, well, back to chopping wood, as we say. Mike McDaniel, he got to the podium, spoke for 15 minutes. We're going to give you an abbreviated version right now. Was Mike McDaniel asked any hard questions? We shall find out.
Bell plays instead of Hubbard. Was that any factor in this?
Yeah, I mean, apparently it didn't matter. And I think that's something that in the National Football League, if you expose yourself and we can't get it right during the game, they're going to continue to do the least risky thing, and you can't. It's not how you win football games in this league. So we have to figure that out immediately, and I'll start on the plane and move into tomorrow and throughout the week, so we can be ready to play a Chargers team that will see the tape and go into the game trying to run it just like they did.
Mike, you were able to get some stuff going in the middle of the field with Waller down, and then Julian Hill a little bit, and then that evaporated.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go 5 punts in a row. What changed?
Well, I think anytime you have any productivity in this league, they make adjustments as well. The critical things were we were in a ton of third and longs because we got zero or no production, on the run opportunities. You're trying to, be balanced as you can. You're trying to understand, or understanding that if they know you're going to pass every play, you probably won't have production that way. So we got no rhythm. I think we got a couple first downs in that whole collection of time. But the main thing was they just said, we're going to stop your run game with our front. And they did. So they committed everybody else to the back end to the pass. And unless you're going to take 50-50 ops on receptions versus pick, that's not a good idea. You have to establish stuff on the line of scrimmage, and clearly whatever we're doing, I could have done a better job. Any play that I would have picked other than the ones that I was calling, I guess, stand a chance to be productive. But you're not going to get far if you can't establish a line of scrimmage.
On the other side of the ball, rushed for 240 some odd yards. Running backs run for 200 yards. Took a lot of time off the clock, and although they were punting and stuff, but it all affected.
Absolutely.
That was probably the biggest effect.
Absolutely.
Of this football game.
No, I think you hit the nail on the head. We had time of possession in our favor in the first half, and absolutely did not have it in the second. I think that is something that at any game during the course of the season can go that way if you allow it. So you can't try to win football games and make mistakes and hope that the time runs out. You have to go win the game. And today we did not.
Was it psychologically a game like this where, you have the emotions, you come out, you're ahead, and then all of a sudden what happens? How do you dig out of that and motivate and get ready for it? Because the game's not going to stop.
No, the one takeaway that I did receive during the games, there was not splintering, there was not phases being frustrated with each other. Everybody wanted to make a play and wanted to play 11 people as one. And I think that losses are tough, but who really cares? Like that, we deserve for it to feel terrible. And in that, you find out exactly who people are. I have confidence in who the people are in the locker room and the coaching staff, and led by me. We have to. No one cares about our feelings, and that is a hard one to deal with, but it should be. It's just as if not more, for everybody that decides to cheer for us and turn on the TV. So that's not acceptable. Will never be. And when you win plus minus and you have a 3-score lead, you have to lean on an opponent in both on both sides of the ball on the line of scrimmage, and we were incapable. So I'm going to get back to the drawing board and fix that immediately.
Once again, immediacy for this Dolphins team as they fall 27-24 to the Carolina Panthers. Tua saying, we got to fix this. We got to fix this now. And Mike McDaniel said, go back to the drawing board and fix things immediately. Brighter days ahead, though. Next week, Chargers come to town. The Chargers just took a loss to Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders. How much does a difference as a quarterback make? Well, we'll see that. Nonetheless, they lost 27-10. So the Chargers now have lost another game, and they are going to be hungry to come in and play the Dolphins. That is going to be a 1:00 kickoff on Sunday. We're going to have our pregame show with Brendan Tobin and Alejandro Solana start at 9 a.m. And of course, we'll be back with you immediately following the game. So thank you so much for spending time with us. Promise you once again, brighter days ahead. Dolphins, though, they do lose to the Carolina Panthers today, 27-24. For Trevor Harris, I am Dan Day, and this has been Game Day Uncensored, postgame on 104.3 FM WQAM.
WQAM, broadcasting live from the Ed Moore Sawgrass Auto Mall Studios. Shop massive savings on a massive Chevy inventory.